Hi, how are ya? Hi, how are ya? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Dopest Nerd. I appreciate you being here. You guys are in the house. We got a full house. Shout out to everybody already in the chat. You know the routine, guys. When you come on in, make sure that you give a thumbs up and like the video so the algorithm knows that we're doing something good and it notifies all our other nerd herd cousins and family because a lot of people are telling me that they're not getting notified and they're getting onto the live late. And Locked has been giving out a whole lot of late passes. Shout out to our girl, the dopest mod. Look at me. The image is flipped. When the image is flipped, this thing really, I can't tell which side is which side, but whatever. We're gonna make it do what it do. Hold on, let me do a few things in here. How are you guys? Shout out to the people in the nosebleed seats. We love you. Shout out to our neurodivergent crowd who doesn't want to mix and mingle but wants to be in the house. Shout out to you all. We love you, and everyone is welcome here. Everyone is welcome here. Shout out to the people in the bushes who are on their couches or in their beds watching the telecast on their TV show or on their TV screen, excuse me. And shout out to the other people in the nosebleeds who's just some looking at that just want to see. Listen, won't you come? All are welcome here. Won't you come? I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. And shout out to the other content creators who are using my material. I see y'all. And I feel honored to inspire you. So there's no beef there either. What do they say? Imitation and mimicry is the highest form of flattery. So shout out to y'all too. Because, eventually it gets old saying the same misinformation and having to retract your statement. I get it. I totally get it. And I'm not mad at you guys. I'm not mad either. So, just shout out. Just saying. I ain't saying. I'm just saying. Hold on. I'm trying to fix the bottom of my laptop. This little cover came off. Just trying to fix that. I'm sorry. Look at that. I've been giving y'all a ride out here in these YouTube streets, don't I? Why is it not clicking back on? It's okay. That makes total sense because I'm trying to snap the one from the top on the bottom. Perhaps that's why it's not clicking back on. There we go. There we go. Shout out to the Hack Asian people. Baby, we talking about chicken today. I ain't going to mention none of those names. I ain't in the mood for it. We just talking about chicken. Shout out to the Trinity in the back. That's my great granny, and my mother. Shout outs. So, hey guys, how's everyone's day going? How have you guys been? Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Shout out to the dopest mod, Locked here, don't care. Johnny on the spot, always ready with the information for you guys, always making sure that everything you need is available. Everyone who sent emails, I got all your emails. I will be responding soon. Ooh, soon as we come in the door, shout out to Naomi Thomas for the love, for the super chat. Hold on. Hey, nerds. Hope everything is doing well. Thank you. Everyone is doing well. Excuse me. Thank you for the love, my sis. I appreciate you. That's how you show love. Straight out the note. I'm going to copy off of another YouTuber that make it rain, make it rain. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to. It's been really tickling me. You know me, I think I am hilarious. And my daughter always says, you just tickle yourself pink. I had to do it, guys. It was so funny. It's hilarious to me. Anyway, welcome everyone. I love you guys. I love your support. You guys are so dope. You could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us. And we appreciate you. Salute to the nerds worldwide, global nerds. Salute to the nerd family. How's it going, guys? Well, we are here on serious business today, y'all. Have you all seen the new KFC commercial? Now, listen, just like the movie Shatters, those of you who haven't watched Shatters, you got to go watch the movie Shatters. You're going too far, no, KFC. I mean, we knew when y'all stopped calling yourself Kentucky Fried Chicken and started calling yourself KFC. Listen, the rumors were out. We knew back then. Y'all churches with them drumstick people with the no face. We knew, but you're going too far now. This is too far. I'm going to share my screen and show y'all the Don't you just crack yourself up, Desert Druzy? Listen, I think I'm the funniest thing out. I think I am the funniest thing out. In fact, my family been gassing me up for years. Like, you need to be a comedian. You need to go do an open mic, and perhaps one day I'll do an open mic. And share the laughter. Or do open mic set on my own. No, we'll figure out. We'll figure out how that works. But Nerds Unite, love in the family. Throw some love. Give me some blue butterflies in the chat for our girl Locked, the dopest mod in the land. Give me some blue butterflies for my girl Locked. Always. When I tell you I could not do this without her. But tonight we're going to talk about these chicken people, honey. The chicken folks. And listen, let me say right now, this is for education and entertainment. This is edutainment. And because I don't need no problems from no thirsty three-letter acronym companies who want to come pop out and show somebody something. Y'all made the commercial. Any ire, any specter, any innuendo, any conjecture that you get, you brought it on yourself. Okay? You're dipping humans into rivers of gravy and they coming back up as a chicken tender. Not even, look, y'all said we ain't even playing with that boned meat. We making them boneless meat. This reminds me of something. I wonder if you guys ever heard me talk about something called Soylent Green. Baby, when they say sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, they mean it. Because KFC, WTF? What is going on with this crazy commercial? With the massive golden egg and the chicken with too much rouge around his eye, red eyeshadow in the forest, and then turning into the chicken lady, and she got on a puff goose because Patagonia had a sale or something. Like, what's going on? This is too much. You're asking too much. I'll be over here in my little corner of the world, minding my business, making jokes, cracking jokes, myself pink, doing side parts, a little two twists, or you see how the flip screen does a little two twists in my hair. I'll be doing all kinds of stuff, but all you're going too far now, boy. All you're going too far now. Y'all dipping humans in a river of gravy and they coming back up as chicken tenders. And you think you're going to sell chicken? Now, listen, I don't know about the rest of the world. There are some topics I'm very well versed on and I can talk about all types of stuff. But then there are other topics that are more personal and I can only talk about how they pertain to, everybody shout out to the Trusty Dusty show producer.
Hello, everyone.
She said, hello, everybody. So I can only discuss how they impact and pertain to my life, existence, community, experience, things of that nature. I can only hypothesize and theorize that other people are thinking the same things too, because it's all very bizarre. Have you guys seen the new KFC commercial? Have you seen the KFC? Well, in case you haven't seen it, I'm going to play it here for you today. It's quite bizarre. When I say bizarre, I mean bizarre. Bizarre, baby. Honey, bizarre. Okay? Any kind of speculation, any conjecture, any innuendo, they brought it on themselves. I can't be held responsible for the negative connotations that come, with this. It's just, I thought it was, my daughter, when I showed my daughter the commercial, she said, who on earth advised them of this? I said, child, I don't know. But clearly, nobody in the room name was Pookie or Man Man. Because had Pookie or Man Man been in that room, nothing I'll go so. So hold on. I'm about to pull up. You guys talk amongst yourself while I pull up this KFC commercial. Because this is a bunch of madness and lunacy, and it's just strange. All kinds of strange. Let's see. Let's see here now. Okay. Guys, when I tell you it's the number one trending thing, if you put KFC commercial 2025 comes on. And listen, everybody and their mama has made. Wait a minute. Is this has part two? I didn't realize they had a part two. Okay, this is the one I want to show y'all. So let me take it back to the. Let me pause it. Now let me share this. So the commercial is called All Hail Gravy, which is strange enough. All Hail Gravy. I think that's a very bizarre title, but to each his own. Far be it from me to tell you folks how to do, what they're doing. But I want you guys to let's watch it together, guys. I'm warning you. This is bizarre. I am fair use. Afrobeats is a block. Hey. Look at the bubble stop. That means he's dead. Nah, man. No, them going too far now. Them going too far now. Well, trying to hold on. They never like to turn off. We're not advertising Manjaro. I'm sorry. That's a commercial and it just doesn't want to stop. Okay. Now, what in the y'all done lost y'all mind? Like one of y'all done slipped in that forest, fell and hit your head on one of those rocks at the side of the Gravy River and bust your head to the white meat. Because this is insane. What the F? What kind of crazy? Who thought this was okay? Emma, put a 1 in the chat if this is some demented ish. This is crazy. And why they come for the thing that black people love so much? Really? Chicken? Y'all gonna learn today, honey. I bet y'all them Super Bowl parties, y'all be having some other salmon fillets. Cause baby, I already told my daughter, I have this thing about there are far too many chicken wings available for sale than there are chickens in this world. Like, how are there so many chickens? Just think of how many in your city, how many chicken spots, how many what's that place? American Deli, Wingstop, and all the chicken places. How many chickens are available that every one of these spots, and then add to it now a card party, a family gathering, a baby shower, a cookout, and all them wing platters. How many wings live in this world? And now look at the wings. Remember when chicken wings used to be this 3-arm part section, the tip, the flat, and the drum? Remember when chicken wings had all these parts on them? Now it's just, or the 3 pieces of the chicken wing. Now they didn't chop them down and conned you, finessed you into buying one chicken wing in multiple pieces. And then these wings are so small. Who are these infant chickens that they're snatching from their mamas, from the bare bosoms of their mamas when they're so small? Why are these chicken wings so small? Y'all be eating them little things? They look too much like, I don't want to gross anyone out, but for me, I think they look like little rat legs. How are they so effing small? The only small chicken we used to really know were Cornish hens. So where's all the bodies for these Cornish hen wings and legs that they sell it? Where's the bodies at? Something ain't right. I don't know. Something is not right. Pigeon, perhaps, because they say birds are not real. They say birds are actual little flying robots and surveillance mechanisms for a 3-letter agency. And when you see the birds all forming on the wire, it's because they're recharging. Hey, it's not what I say, it's what they say. They, the ones out there in the internet, the ones out there in YouTube and in social media, they say birds ain't real. Oh my gosh. Somebody said they literally found human remains on a McDonald's rooftop in America. What? Somebody said, what if, Desert Druzy said, what? So let me put that one first. Jack Apia. Why would the McDonald's be processing the human at the store instead of from their big warehouse that processes and brings? So let me tell you something. Cite your source. I need you to cite your source. Y'all know my philosophy here. I'm sorry, Isis. Let me go to Desert Druzy. Desert Druzy said, suppose chickens are smarter than us. Where'd you put that statement? I saw it. Oh, what if chickens are more intelligent than us? Perhaps they are. Because the girl went from a chicken with a very fleshy red eye to a chick with 2 ponytails slicked down and a Patagonia puff goose. Sorry, Patagonia, no shade. It's giving very Patagonia. It's cute. The fashions, clearly they were at the Kanye West fall 20, I think it was 2020 show or 2019 show. Clearly they were at that show. Because, baby, the fashions are very dystopian, but still trying to look cute, very monotone, very earth tones. What is this big golden egg? What's the big golden egg? What's going on here? They are literally telling us to our face that suspend the illusion that you are actually eating chicken. That's what they're saying. My sweet Petunia, can you do me a favor and be a dear and get mommy the charger, just in case it decides that it wants to flake out on me? No, for the computer, for the laptop. So let me tell you a little about why I said Soylent Green. And you've heard me talk about Soylent Green before. Those who haven't, go back to some of the old, when you have time and when you're not doing anything or when you're maybe relaxing, put on a whole episode of The Dopest Nerd in the background. You'll hear me drop gems all the way through. You'll be like, oh, you know what? Wow, she said this back here. Yes. I talked about Soylent Green. So Soylent Green is a movie that came out in 1973. It was directed by Richard Fleischer. It was starring Charlton Heston, and it was a dystopian thriller about a future New York City. Remember, it came out in 73, so it was the future of New York City, and people were starving. There was food was at such a minimum, and so much had gone on in the world. They were rationing food. They were given food rations, and so this company called the Soylent Corporation. Thank you, my love. The Soylent Corporation were giving out these food rations. They were responsible for the Soylent Green. And they were telling everybody, eat Soylent Green. Soylent Green. Soylent Green is the answer to the hunger problem. Soylent Green. And everybody had relegated themselves to some Soylent Green. They was just like, okay, this what we doing? Okay. And that's what they did in mass. Let me catch up with the comments because I had scrolled back up. I like to see what you guys are saying in real time. Hey, Set in the West, what up, bro? What's the deal, my brother? And so, yeah, definitely find the video and send it to me, Jacques. Oh, really? I need to look at that. You said Naughty Bot? Some words get me. The hackation is upon me. So for those of you, anytime I say something that seems like a word you're not familiar with or you don't understand, I have to modify certain words because of the algorithm will chop. And I said a particular person's name yesterday and got kicked offline twice. So Soylent Green was this. Yes, Annette Graff, you are 100% right, my love. Well, let me build up to it. I don't want to tell them just yet for those who don't know. So Soylent Green, there was a NYPD detective named Robert Thorne. He was investigating what red rum is? It's the reverse. It's an anagram or backwards of unalived. I'm just tired of saying unalived. So red rum. He was investigating the red rum of an executive at Rations manufacturer, the people who manufactured Soylent Green. And he was doing that with the help of an elderly academic. His name was Saul Roth. He was played by an old actor called Edward G. Robinson. And so Detective Thorne was Charlton Heston. Thorne was making a lot of progress until the governor mysteriously pulled the plug on the investigation. He was like, nope, end this investigation. It's over, done. And so he's like, why would you just end the investigation when we get into the meat of things? Like, pun intended, to the meat of things. Why would you, when we're getting to the substance of things, why would you pull the investigation? Like, are you not concerned with us solving this case? And so being the committed detective that he was, he became obsessed. And he was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go rogue and I'm going to investigate this myself because I'm going to find out who killed Saul Roth. Well, baby, he stepped out from behind the badge and started running his own investigation on the red rum. And baby, he eventually realizes that the rations that they were feeding the people, the food rations that were supplying the needs of everybody, it was the human remains of missing red rum victims. And all of the missing humans, they were red rumming them and then cooking them, boiling them, whatever. I don't know what technique they use. I don't know. There's so many different techniques. But they were supplying people. You were eating humans. Soylent Green was people. You were eating people. Now, this commercial, and there was a company, one of those, I don't want to misquote somebody's name because, the sharks be out looking for somebody to on, and I'm not the one. Fair use, allegedly, upon my information and belief, and all that good stuff. Let me just say, allegedly, all of this is alleged. Anything I say. So any corporation that's sniffing around looking for somebody to sue, because I know y'all are litigious, I am not the herb you're looking for. I am protected by fair use and all of that. Information and belief, entertainment purposes only, all that. I digress. So let me go back. Jacques said, I've been watching From the Bushes for months, 5 months, and had to come out today. LOL. Well, welcome out of the bushes, my love. He said, I've been watching From the Bushes for months, 5 months, and I had to come out today. LOL. I just love your channel. Very informative. Thank you so much. Listen, you guys give me so much love. I'm so touched. Hey, James Brown up in the place, my love. I'm not even going to make a James Brown joke because I know you are tired of James Brown jokes. So welcome, James Brown. God bless you, Natanya. Love you, pretty lady. Oh, thank you. Okay, now. Okay, then. Listen, flattery will get you everywhere. Okay, darling? All women still want to be flattered, darling. So I thank you for that. I appreciate that. Who else? Let's get some of these comments in here. Yes, honey. Yes, Luna. That's what I was just getting ready to tell y'all. You know what all the vegan and the impossible and the like this and the alternate meat and the alternate facts meat and all of this stuff. A protein shake company came out called Soylent Green. And I saw it a few years ago. I said, why in God's green earth would they name their company that, given what the Soylent Green movie was about? I mean, this movie was 1973. I was 3 years old. But this is what I tell you guys about predictive programming and about think tanks. A think tank is an organized structure, an organized unit of people who come together to forecast and plan things for the future. So just think. You think they're planning for like 2 years, next year, 5 years. Oh, no. Think tanks plan for 40 and 50 years out. Some of them plan for 30 years, but they really have their plans 50 years out. This is what we're going to implement. This is what we're going to do. Because I remember back in the 80s, there was a Time magazine cover that had this big eagle on it, and he had a gold necklace. I thought they were trying to make a joke about hip hop. I thought they were making a joke about hip hop. Baby, it had a bee on it. I thought he had a big gold chain on, and I promise you, I thought they were making a mockery of hip hop. It was an eagle with a bee on it, a Bitcoin. Okay? Back then, when nobody knew what Bitcoins were. I mean, I knew about Bitcoin pretty early because there was a show, TV series called How to Make It in America. And it was about these guys trying to launch this denim company, denim line. And all the hustling and connections and all this they were doing to get this premium denim that they wanted to use to make their line. And baby, one of the guys said, well, I can get it from this distributor in Italy, but we're going to have to, he's off in he's on the dark web. The only way we can buy it is with Bitcoin. And I was like, what the heck is Bitcoin? This was back in 2000, had to be 2009? Well, probably before then. How to Make It in America. Do me a favor, boo. Look up How to Make It in America and tell me what year that series started. And that series was dope. When I tell you that was one of the dopest series out. You said Robert Clancy exposed celebs 3 years ago and corporations and their motives. Ciao. Wow, I need to look that up. Give us some more information on that, Coey. And Natasha St. Cyr, my love. I don't know if you should throw it out, darling, but certainly take it back and get a refund. If it was Kroger, they're going to give you your money back. Darling, anything that says, I always have this theory. So I always say to myself, I say self, if all these people are so anti-meat and they want to live a vegan lifestyle, then why are you eating fake hamburgers, fake sausage, fake everything? Just eat lettuce. Look, I went out with my daughter today. She went and buy her food after school she wanted. I went to the store, I bought green juices, I bought ginger and turmeric shots, and I bought a salad. I would much rather a steak. But my mind, body, soul, spirit, and flesh is like, you don't need it. Get yourself a green juice. And honestly, I told you, I've been going through some kind of shift. Probably about 2 weeks ago, I went to eat something. I smelled it. This is something that I ate all the time and loved. Smelled it. And I was like, oh no, I can't put this in my mouth. And my family and I, we have this weird thing. It's called a cheese lemon. So crazy. It's a family thing. It's a cheese limit. We could be tearing something down that we love. Yeah, girl. I take one bite. My mind be like, don't finish that third shoe. Spit it out now. My mind says you hit your cheese limit. It could be something I just made. It could be my infamous mac and cheese. And then I'm 2 bites in and I can't finish that third bite. It's a family thing. We got a cheese limit. I know my cheese limit too. I don't push it. When my mind say, don't you swallow that, I spit it right on out. I can't do it. I cannot do it. It is something about, you have to honor your body. Your body will tell you when something. Now, I've heard talk of this, but it was the they. You know how people say, you be like, well, who said y'all was going to such and such? And your kids be like, oh, they said. Or, you ask your brother, so what happened? How you lost your job again? They was talking junk about me. And who's they? They. There's, baby, they is responsible for a lot in this world. They is everywhere, be busy, doing a whole lot of stuff. But I always say, if you do not want, hey, Natasha, I'm glad you made the live as well, my love. Chloe said, there are signs to look out for. Watch Best Modern Exposure of Freemasonry. Time to Wake Up, Saints. I think I've actually seen some of that. Or I saw the title recently because I told y'all I'm the documentary queen. I would much rather be educated than entertained. I would much rather be informed than entertained. And I think that is the wake up we have to do. We have to elevate ourselves and not always seek to just be entertained all the time. And I know we are on the platform, we're on YouTube, but YouTube has lulled us into this false sense of security where people in mass just want to be delighted and entertained. And what does that do for you? I mean, I don't want to judge people. We listen and we don't judge. Life is hard. Like I said, life be lifing. But in the same time, God be Goddin'. And so I can't always, now everybody's entitled to do what they want, but I can't always give the excuse like, life be life. And so people just want to, sometimes you have to raise your own foundational plateau and say, time for me to get educated. There's things I need to know. And trust me, in the education, you will learn, you can find yourself slightly entertained at times too. Look at my girl Locked. And how on point was I? 2010, How to Make It in America. Y'all need to go watch that series, honey. That series is about it. And I said 2009. I knew it was, I know your girl be knowing her stuff. Let me just say, I be knowing my stuff because everything lives up here. This brain is like a semiconductor. When I was a kid, they used to call me Encyclopedia Brown. I had this one girl, she thought it was a flex. I ain't gonna call your name, boo. But she used to say, every time she tell a joke, you learn a new vocabulary word. Like, they thought it was a flex to try to come for me. Baby, you can't come for me. I'm proud of these lyrics. But it's like Chris Rock said infamously back in early 2000s, he said, Black people love not to know nothing. He said, if it was somebody from the hood coming home from jail, they'd be like, ow, such and such and such and such. And then you like, well, such and such. And they'd be like, don't nobody care about all that. We don't know about all that. But they know when somebody coming home from jail, somebody in the hood is quick to tell you, don't nobody care about all that. You always put your information in your smart. Okay. Far be it from me to want to enlighten people and share some information that could be of benefit to your life. Perhaps you won't eat that Impossible Soylent Green burger because it's, the missing chick from down the street. They ain't seen in 2 years. I'm just trying to help. No disrespect to anyone missing and no disrespect to anyone who has a missing family member. If you have a missing family member, I hope call the missing persons bureau and go online, look up. There's always updates and information. Seek information. My girl Locked is going to put something for missing people up on the screen in the chat as well. But listen, how could we consistently have this massive number of missing people that are perpetually gone and lost? I watched a documentary the other day about Detroit. They said people have been missing at city hospital or going to the hospital in Detroit People that were in the hospital come up missing. People that were visiting the hospital come up missing in Detroit. And this guy said, wait a minute, I have to look at this because the numbers are so exponential. There has to be something there. And so he made a documentary about, and it's just a mock, but he made a documentary about and giving voice and calling these people's names. Because, I mean, they have surveillance showing the person was having a seizure. They got themselves to the hospital, were in the hospital, treated for a few days. The day that they were going to be released, the person called their family member, their mom and brother, and was like, hey, I'm getting released today. Y'all can head this way and come get me. And they was like, all right, we're going to come get you. By the time they got there, he gone. Room empty, gone. They have surveillance of him coming into the hospital. They have surveillance when he was moved around the hospital. They have no surveillance of him leaving the hospital. But this man has disappeared, never been seen again. And time again, I'm talking, a little girl went on a medical visit. Her mother's friend took the child to a medical visit because the parent had to go to the doctor, had to go to work. Little girl came up missing at the hospital at the medical visit. Ain't never been seen again. I mean, all kinds of craziness. So let's not sleep. Let's act like all of the awareness we're receiving in society about things that they, first of all, let's state one thing for the fact. I am 54. I will be 55. Many of you, I look at my analytics. Many of you are around my age. Some, my biggest demographics are that 45 to 54, and then 55 to 65, and then the one right below it, largest demographics. Shout out to the people that's our age that want something different. Shout out to my family. I love y'all. However, we have to take into consideration, we have been lied to for the entirety of our existence. Lied. This country and the global world might do a little better of telling their citizenry some authentic stories, but the reason that they've spent their lives trying to keep us separate is because they knew once we get together, we start to discuss things and we can see the discrepancies. See, think about it. Every single government administration tells their people whatever they want. Case in point, North Korea. North Korea got their people in isolation, very dated. It looks like a time warp. And they tell them all kinds of stuff, what they want them to believe. When people escape or defect when they're in an Olympic team and then they get around to the rest of the world, see everything going on, they're like, hold on. What? This is what the rest of the world look like? We still driving 1957 Chevys. Every administration and government and tells their citizenry their own version of history. And that is why, especially America, with main character syndrome and delusions of grandeur, everything in the world is, when they play a sport that's local, they call it their local thing. And then whenever it's some global competition thing, they might call it FIFA World Cup, or, every local thing in America is the World Series, the best of this. America, you know why Donald Trump got elected? Because America got, like Donald Trump says, it's the greatest. It's the greatest. It was the biggest turnout of all time, the likes of which the world has never seen. It was the greatest. It was the best. It's always the greatest and the best. America got main character syndrome. And that is why America has been able to tell their citizenry a bunch of mashugana and buffoonery forever and a day. And we believe all kinds of stupid tales. And look, they just found out that underneath, they used sonar and found out that underneath the pyramids of Giza are some a whole bunch of cylindrical columns, 4 on one side and 4 on the other, directly under the pyramid. And then it goes down, I think it said 162 meters or miles. And then there are 2 big rectangle shaped boxes that the 4 cylinders on one side and the 4 cylinders on the other side mount on top, and it still goes even deeper than that. We have been lied. They try to tell us, oh, it was for a burial thing. You're going to build this massive structure to bury somebody? You mean to tell me these wise people with their, massive sarcophagus that they create when they want to bury their noble people, and then they have to build a pyramid also? when you haven't found remnants of sarcophagus in pyramids? They got hieroglyphs on the wall describing everything. There's hieroglyphs on the wall that show things that look like a cell phone. They got the Wi-Fi signal symbol on hieroglyphs in the Egyptian caves. And yet these brilliant people, you want us to believe that the only way that they could honor someone they thought was noble was to put them under this massive structure? Like, why do you think every single structure or every single carving out there has their nose eviscerated? Why do you think the Sphinx and everything out there that has a head, their nose is missing? Because they were trying to erase the blackness. If you go to Egypt now, it looks very, what they want to call Middle Eastern, very Anglo. But, you know, that's a topic for another day. But you know what I'm saying. The original Egyptians didn't look like that. You can look on the hieroglyphic walls and see how brown they draw themselves. They also draw people of different stature. They draw humans of a certain, it'd be a bunch of humans in a line, maybe doing a thing. And then there's these massive humans. And then very small ones, like the Nephilim. We have been lied to. I say all that to say we have been lied to the world over. And it is not until we start speaking to each other, just like when TikTok was supposedly over and everybody started going on Red Note, and then they found out that they only pay $700 for a law degree in China, $745. And we over here trying to get an undergrad degree, and it's $24,000 a year or a semester. That's undergrad, not even law. Undergrad free over there. Everybody else is able to educate their people without making you lose your shirt. But the quote unquote greatest country in the world need $25,000 a semester. Come on. We've been lied to, and that's the first thing we need to get over. The fake meat freaks, listen. The fake meat freaks me out so much. The concept and development. Listen. If you took all this time to study how to make a fake sausage, when sausages are already full of preservatives and not the best thing for you to eat, sausages are already an amalgamation of all this scrap meat churned together into this thing. Those little white things, chunks in the sausage is gristle. You don't know what's in there. They throw in everything, cow hooves, this, that, pig nose, all kind of thing in a vat and grind it up. And then pipe it in a little, in a hose. Sausage is already problematic. You need to make fake sausage? And if you're so enlightened and so above everyone else, and oh, I'm so kind to the environment and kind to animals, I don't consume animals. I don't wear leather. I only wear vegan leather or pleather. Why do you need to wear vegan leather? Why do you need a fake sausage? Why do you need a fake burger? Why don't you just do it honestly? And like back in the days when people was like, oh, I'm a vegetarian, eat your lettuce. Why do you need a fake sausage? You want too much. You are straddling the fence. God don't play about straddling the fence. You got to say, if you say I'm eating lettuce, eat your lettuce and your vegetables. I'm done. You want vegetable and fake sausage. You know what they said is one of the largest components in impossible meat and fake and all those vegan sausage? Actual meat. They said they've tested a bunch of vegan burgers, sausage, you know, all these other meats that y'all eat, all these fake, impossible, this, that, and the third, full of meat. See if you could pull that up in the chat, Locked. Full of meat. Plus, they use soy. Soy. You are not supposed to consume soy. Hey, my love. Oh, hey, James. Hey, Joy to the world. What up, my boo? James Brown, you said KFC is the bomb. Are you saying that figuratively or literally? Baby, I know you ain't out here eating no KFC now, James. Now, you just called me beautiful lady, honey. You gonna have to get that together, brother. Which is it? You eating KFC or not? You have to lay that down. He said Sam's Club frozen yogurt is the bomb. See, I don't like modifications of actual food. If you have to modify the food, do you really need it then? I mean, you can't have it both ways. We can't be we can't straddle the fence. What you Shannon Hoyt said they actually have human meat farms. Ooh. Okay, cite your sources, boo. Throw something in the chat for us to cite our source. There's a movie called Kingsman, The Golden Circle. She put people in a meat grinder and then made burgers. Oh my gosh. Are you serious, Natasha? See if you can find that link locked and put that in the chat for us, Kingsman. Ooh. We live in a very questionable and sick world, honestly. Like, yes, honey, I know it's intense, but were you on here when we showed the KFC commercial, Desert Druzy and James Brown? Did y'all see the KFC commercial? Because I'll play it again if I need to now. Do I need to replay that commercial? Put a 2 in the chat if you missed the commercial the first time around. There are far too many people missing in this world. Listen, Asheo, joy to the world. She said, I turned 57 in January. Thank God I made it. Asheo, me too. Thank God I made it. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be 55. Listen, I ain't even worried about these little gray hairs that didn't want to die when I dyed my hair. Let them stay. They said, I will not be denied. And I said, no problem. Hey, Shannon. What up, boo? Yes, baby. Now that you locked, Desert Druzy gets a gold star. We are as sick as our secrets. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have said it. Yeah. Oh, she said everyone needs to report the KFC ad. You know what? I think that's a good idea. I think it's disgusting. I think it is disgusting. Let me scroll down to see how many people missed the commercial. And for those who are concerned, Locked has put the National Missing and Identified Persons System, NAM-US, is a national centralized repository and resource center for missing, unidentified, and unclaimed person cases across the United States. Thank you, my love. I appreciate that. There are far too many lies in our society. And understand that this is why they don't want us converging, convening, and talking to each other. See, when this social experiment called social media was created, they didn't think that we would get the strength in numbers and the unity in talking to each other. Their power, society at large, the powers that be, the elite, their power came from divide and conquer. Keep us separated, and we don't get along because we think we're different with this and that and that. Look, I come to find that people have so much in common you would not believe. So much in common. And baby, we have got to learn to start to put our differences aside. And see, we bust this whole thing, we bust through. When he came out with this, first of all, he finessed the MAGA crowd and all the others who were willing to see other people suffer so that they could have a better quality of life. That's why we in this Trump trouble. This ain't got nothing to do with who was a better candidate. This is Trump was talking that good old whoop-de-whoop, racist, mumbo jumbo, this, that, and the third, and people took a bite and said, yep, that's the burger I like. This the impossible meat I want to eat. And they took a bite and they voted for that. We told them all along, oh, y'all don't see this Project 2025? Yeah, he's all the way in this. All he had to tell y'all was, Project 25, what is that? I don't know about that. I'm not connected to that. And everybody was like, oh, he doesn't know. He's not connected. We told y'all, look here now. Look here now. He is. Listen here. Now that we have, oh, yes, honey. And let me just say this. I know we came here to talk about KFC WTF, but April 5th, there will be a global march all over the place. Melanated beings, y'all sit your hind parts home. You hear? Don't go to that door. Sit your hind parts home. And if you have to go outside, go see about your business and get back in the house. Don't see your way to no march. This ain't about you. Mind yours. Mind yours. You know, there's enough sometimes. All they want to be in people things and in people face. Stay home. Mind your business. Mind your business. Okay? April 5th is not for all, yeah. Now, I said what I said. Well, listen, they may not want us to know that Egyptian people are based in Africa, but Egypt is in Africa. So, I mean, we know that. We know that. They try to separate it, called the Middle East. No, it's Africa. It's Africa. And then there's so many other people, and I cry for my brethren and sisters who are so in this whole, I ain't African, I was born here. Yeah, my people is here. Okay, I will say, I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it 50 times, I will say it again. Prior to the tectonic plates in this global world shifting and separating the continents, we were all one landmass called Pangea. And so while it took a long time to walk and migrate to different parts of Pangea, people were able to migrate. But the oldest form of life has been identified in Africa, and it was a melanated being. So suffice it to say, life generated and started there, and then people spread outwards. So yes, you could have been very well indigenous when those tectonic plates shifted and they had the massive boom and eruptions and the land was shaking and all types of stuff, and then the landmass separated into 7 continents, and it was water in between, and so your people became indigenous to this piece and you people were over here to this piece. But make no mistake, life started in Africa. Now, y'all can say what you want. Look up a Nova episode. There was this white, he called himself an Egyptologist, and he studied molecular science and microbiology and all this stuff. And he set out to prove that the oldest living source of life was white. He set out to prove that. And not only did he not prove that, he had to come forth. There's a major thing on Nova. I watched this had to be 10, maybe 12 years ago. He said, not only did I not prove that the first life form was white, I proved that life actually started. This is not what I intended to prove, but that life started in Africa and that we are all connected. And the original man and woman is Black. And he also said that white people and Neanderthals are a combination of Neanderthals were in a humanoid life-like type. They're not humans. They were humanoid. They were part animal, part human. And that some of the people who, like I said, when the tectonic plates shifted and the landmass separated into 7 continents, some people that shifted that piece of landmass towards Europe and colder areas, genetically, your DNA and your features altered. Your noses became thinner, your skin became lighter because lack of access to the sun in great detail. It was a more balmy, cold, wet environment. And so your features changed and genetically altered and modified. Don't get lost on the fact, he literally said, the only true 100% DNA that he was able to track, mitochondrial DNA, all the way back to the motherland original, what they call her Eve. The original DNA, he said that Blacks were the only pure DNA. Everybody else had Neanderthal or something else mixed in. Listen, not me. They said it. Don't fight me. Or they go and look. It's called Nova. It's a scientific. Listen, a lot of people wouldn't know these things except for the fact that y'all need somebody shucking and jiving on TV so you can laugh every 2 minutes. And you need tea. You need somebody to be like, oh, girl, let me tell you. And if that's not in it, you can't sit down and watch a documentary that just in a monotonous voice spells out whatever this is for 2-3 hours. Some of y'all cannot stand to not be entertained. You have to get past that. You have to elevate your mind. In order to attain true nirvana, nirvana is the highest form of spiritual enlightenment. In order to attain true nirvana, you have to ascend. You have to be enlightened. You have to ascend. And that calls for the shedding of the ego and the shedding of a whole lot of things like entertainment all the time. But I know a lot of people is not trying to do that. Now, I see Annette Graf has parasites in fish and pork. Yeah, if you eat farm raised fish, you got parasites in you. And pork, baby, no pork on my fork. Stay away from the pork. It's the only animal that has no sweat glands. I keep telling y'all. In the Bible, they casted legions and demons into the pigs. Why you all eating that? God, they have no sweat glands. They cannot excrete waste. That means that all the toxicity stays within them. So all y'all are like a little bacon. I'm not telling you nothing. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Hot dogs too. Somebody said, Luna said, my thing with fake meat is that if it's cheap enough that fast food is selling it, no. Here's the deal. The packaged fake meats are expensive. All of these impossible, this, that, but what it is they have lulled people into the false sense of elitism. And it's main character syndromeism. It's, I'm special. I'm not like those people eating the cheap hot dogs. No, darling, I pay $29.99 for my fake meat. That is what that is. People love to feel like there's exclusivity. People will join a movement just because it seems exclusive. It's why Gucci and Louis and Hermes and all these people can sell so many bags. It is not about most people that buy. You think they care about the structure of a bag? You think they're looking at the integrity of the stitching and yada, yada, sis, boom, bot? No. They are looking for, I want to present to the world that I'm in an exclusive club. That's it. It is here. It's here. That's why they could sell you fake meat. Sausages are already problematic. You need fake problematic. And then guess what? You buy an impossible this, and guess what? They tested there's a documentary out there. See if you can find it for me, Locked. There's a documentary out there about how they tested all of these plant-based things and impossible this, that, and the third. And baby, they was full of meat. Meat is in those meat-free things. Tons of samples. So get into that. And also wash your lettuce and all that, because they have this. Okay, I told you guys, I want you guys to watch What the Health. If I'm not mistaken, in What the Health, they talk about how they had this situation in North Carolina where, yes, people are doing this whole I'm vegan, but then they had this big farm where they raised all this cattle and all kinds of other meat, and they processed all this meat, but then they had a big farm where they did nothing but vegetables and all that downland of the meat and where all the cattle grazed. So the runoff water from the farm with the cattle was running off into the vegetables. So all of the fecal matter and all that from the runoff from the cattle and all them other animals was running off into the vegetables. And people's eating them like, I'm a vegan. I don't eat all that. Well, you got lettuce and cow manure. But I digress, because some of y'all don't like to wash all their vegetables and things. Let's wheel it back. I went somewhere the other day. I went into the restroom. So help me God. This lady came out the restroom and started fixing her hair and touching her eyebrow and ain't touched the water. And so I was pulling out running my hand to get the paper towel. I was like, no, wait, you stroking your eyebrow. I didn't say nothing to her, but in my mind, I was like, you're stroking your eyebrow. You're not going to wash your hands. So now I'm taking the paper towel and drying my hands. I'm taking my time because I said, couldn't so nasty. I want to see if she go wash them hands. My girl fixed her eyebrow. My girl fixed she glasses. She went in her bag. She was looking for something. When I tell you, I waited around till I was like, all right, you got to go mind your business, girl. I walked out that bathroom. She popped right out behind me. I said, it's a big grown woman. She had to be perhaps not my age, but 40 something. You You're touching your tunnies and you're not washing your hand? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. It's too much. It's too much. And that is why we have all these issues in the world. This is why. Contamination, cross-contamination. That's why during the pandemic, cross-contamination was the hugest thing. There you go, baking soda. And here's the thing. You have to wash your fruits in baking soda and your vegetables in vinegar. If you wash them both in baking soda and vinegar, that is basic. You understand? That is, vinegar is one end of the spectrum for acidity, and baking soda is at the other end. So if you wash them, you almost can't, in both, you cancel them out. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Yep, Desert Druzy said, never could eat sausage, meatloaf, bologna, etc. As a child, I was told I was too picky, but certain meats literally made me gag. I learned to chew it, spit it out, and feed our dog under the table. Listen, and the more we know, the more we grow. Like lunch meat. There was a guy the other day, he was living in, I think he said Albania, and he showed his shopping in Albania. Oh my goodness. The fruits and vegetables look so wholesome. The bread, he said, you got to only buy what you need. You just have to come back to the store multiple times a week. Don't buy more than you need because there's no preservatives in the bread. So if you buy too much and you don't consume it within 2 days, it will mold. How delicious that has to be. And he was like, why is the milk on the shelf? And so people from Albania and that region of the world was saying it goes through this heating process where the meat is, the milk is heated to take out all the bacteria, and then it is cooled so it can last at room temperature. Then there's another one that's not heated, and that's in the freezer section. I mean, in the cold section. But who said that? The Bible says I can eat meat. Of course you can eat meat. You can eat meat. I eat meat. I don't always have a feeling that I want to. Okay, so I see some twos. So are these the only twos? I only see 2 twos in the chat. Joy to the world, 3. T. Lewis, joy to the world, and Locked said, Locked, you saw that commercial, girl. You was on here. Did you not see the commercial? All right, I'm going to play the commercial again. What did I miss? Oh yeah, we have to wash everything. We have to wash everything. And listen now. I know this sounds extreme. And I can, Vaughn? Oh, she in the shower. You in the shower? Oh, no, go ahead. Let me tell y'all something. Now I know I be telling y'all stuff. I'm extreme though. I'm extreme with my stuff. I do not wash anything that I am going to consume with sink water. I don't wash my stuff with sink water. I do not run my pot. If you're making spaghetti and you put your pot to the sink and fill it up with sink water, you're defeating your whole purpose. We buy tons and tons of spring water in this house. When I tell you I cook, I pour my water out to cook. If we make a spaghetti, we pour spring water in the pot. I do not fill my pot from the sink. No, ma'am. No how. No way. Not me. Sink water is so full of carcinogens and nasty fecal matter, parasitic thing, disgusting. If you drink sink water, you are insane. You have a unaliving wish if you drink sink water. I don't cook with sink water. Now, listen, this lifestyle requires a commitment. You're going to spend a little more money. You got to allocate at least $15 to buy a lot of spring water. And I'm not talking about spring alpine, that where you see it say spring alpine and you're like, oh, that's spring water. And it's the cheap one, $1 for this massive thing. No, darling, nowhere does it say spring water. Be careful of deceptive advertising. It says spring alpine, alpine spring, whatever. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna get this spring water. It's cheaper. It's not spring water. That is city gin, as we used to call it in New York. They stuck that to the fountain, to the faucet, and filled up that jug with city gin. If it doesn't say spring water, It's not spring water. There'll be distilled water. There'll be, all them bottle, if you buy the bulk bottle pack of water and you're not buying the spring water, that's faucet water. They're finessing y'all. And I'm not going to say there wasn't a time where we didn't buy the little bottles of water, the regular bottle pack of water. I don't buy that. That is city gin. They fill that up from the city pipe and put it in bottles and y'all buy it. You have got to make a commitment and say, I'm going to go all the way and I'm going to allocate a certain amount of my money to buy spring water and cook with spring water. You've got to go all the way. If you halfway it, you're cheating yourself. Do you know they say the greatest harm that a parent can do is at the dinner table every day to their family and their children? We are red rumming our children, not me, because I just go the whole way. But we are red rumming our children at the dinner table. You're loving your children to unalive, letting them eat all that. If you're still buying all that cereal box and all kind of thing, boy, do you know they have a substance in cereal that is, it is like, you ever seen somebody putting up a wall and they putting up a piece of sheetrock and they got that gypsum dust? It's in your box cereal. Y'all better lay off all this stuff. But it's easier for some people to buy processed food, stick it in the cabinet, and to tell the kids, y'all get down there and make yourself something to eat, because nobody wants to go in front of the stove and actually cut up vegetables, wash them in vinegar and cut it up. And y'all don't want to do all that hard work. So y'all buy the pack of frozen vegetable mix from the supermarket. I know y'all don't think they're going the extra mile. And you also have to then start training yourself to stop eating out so much, because you cannot possibly think that eating out, that the restaurant is doing any of that. They could care less. They could care less. They are not going all that extra mile. Now there's a card I'm going to send. Did I send it to you, Locked? Let me see. I'm going to send it to you so you can post it in the chat. There is it also, you have to stop eating certain oils that you cook your food with. You should not be cooking your food in anything but olive oil. Some of y'all out there, I'll be in the supermarket all the time. I watch these people. Oh, get the vegetable oil, get the canola oil. Canola? Do you know canola is the brainchild of Monsanto? It is called, the word we can't say on YouTube, weed, grape weed, and it's not grape. They call it grape weed, because when a canola plant is put into a thing, it grapes your whole soil and takes over the whole crop. And it's a GMO Monsanto thing. Why are y'all using vegetable oil? It causes massive inflammation in your body. Why are y'all using canola? Canola's trash before 15, let's say 17, 18 years ago. You didn't know nothing about no canola oil. Where it came from. You didn't go to the supermarket and buy no canola. You had vegetable, you had corn oil, you had peanut oil for the people that fried turkeys. You had a few little things. Or they get fancy and see canola and like, oh, I'm going to get this. I'll be trying to tell people, excuse me, ma'am, may I ask you a question in the supermarket? What? I'm like, any particular reason you buying canola oil? What's specific about canola oil that that's the oil you choose? Then they be sitting there. So now they got this look on their face, because they're not trying to tell you what their truth is. What they're trying to do is, let me see why she asking me this so I could tell her something that knocks whatever she's trying to say out the box. Am I? Put a 2 in it. Put a 3 in the chat if I'm telling the truth. They're not listening for understanding. They're not saying, I just buy it because I see it on the shelf and it'll be on sale. Is there a reason I shouldn't buy it? Talk to me. Tell me, sis, fill me in. No, they're not doing that. They're like, because this is what I buy. I mean, okay, I'm just trying to help. You ain't got to listen to me. I'm just trying to help. You mad because I'm trying to fill you in on something. As soon as I start to see that energy, I back away. Because every now and then somebody will say, it was always on sale. Listen, Something that's always on sale ain't good for you. You don't possibly think the supermarket loves you so much that they want you to have low price stuff, right? I know you don't think that. The reason that they're able to get away with commercials like KFC is because people don't care. There are people sitting back laughing about it. And I promise you, if I drive, some blocks over to the little district where all of the retail stores are, I bet you people is in line at KFC right now. Right now. Let me play this commercial again. I literally if I have to make pasta, I'm pouring my spring water into the pot. Okay, Keisha, it's all good. You late, baby. I know you had to work late. It's all good. We let you slide, boo. You understand what I'm saying? There are some things that we have to just commit to. Like, it sounds like a lot. Here's the thing. If you're buying bottled water, what bottled water are you buying? The word enriched on your stuff means they stripped all the good stuff out and then they added about 16 little funky vegetables back. What the heck was that? Y'all heard that? Did y'all just hear that sound? What's that? My daughter's in the shower. Well, I tell you. Okay, Father God, that's you. We're going to call it you. And I ain't going to sweat it. You understand what I'm saying? You have to, absolutely. Listen, they said they believe that there is an effeminization of the men happening, and there has been such an upswing in, and no disrespect to anybody, in homosexuality. Do you know the level of prescription hormone medicine that's in the water, the water stream? Do you know how much hormones are in water? You're literally putting your pot to the sink and filling it up with hormones, water, fecal matter, other mysterious pills, psychotropic medication, this, that, all. Why you think you got a cousin and you're like, she's so moody all the time? She be drinking her water out the sink, and y'all cook with the sink water. So she got a whole lot of medication that's in her system counteracting with maybe a natural chemical imbalance she has. And that's why she seems moody and off. She had from an assortment of medicine that she was neither prescribed or even knows that she's taking or consented to. It's in the water. I need y'all to understand that. I tell people all the time, like, I see people like, oh yeah, honey, we drink this and we buy this and then I see them take their pot and stick it to the sink. I like, wait, you filling up the sink, you filling up the water with sink? Well, yeah, I'm gonna make spaghetti. With sink water? I'm good. I don't want none. And I'm not trying to be funny and shady to nobody. I'm trying to help y'all. I'm trying to help y'all. Dope. That's super dope. Holly, she said, I live in an apartment in Connecticut. We installed a 5-liter spring reverse osmosis system. Super dope. And there's tons of them now, and they're not that expensive. A reverse osmosis system used to be thousands of dollars. I remember when they first came out, they used to call it living water. There was a place around in Brooklyn, around the corner from my grandmother's house. It was a health food store around the corner. And so help me God, the people told her about it and she wanted to get it. My mother was like, oh, don't let them people tell you all that thing and you're going to spend all this money. This thing was thousands of dollars to get this system in the house. And my mother was like, no, I'm not going to let you do it. They're conning you. They're taking advantage of your money. No, it was good. My grandmother was a wise woman. They call it living water. Living water. But the system back then, this had to be the 90s. And that system was thousands of dollars. My mother was like, nope, not letting you get it. They taking advantage of you. Perhaps they should have let her get it. My mother should have let her get it. Now you can get a reverse osmosis thing on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, Amazon for $1.99. It come with the 3 sections of filters and it sit on your countertop or right under your thing. There's a portion that's under the countertop and something that sits on the counter. Listen, the technology has advanced itself, but you gotta actually do it. Don't complain. Oh, I ain't got no $2.99 to spend on that. You got an iPhone, don't you? You got Jordans on, don't you? Huh? Your wife got Louis, don't she? Why you can't do something for your health? Why? Yeah, it costs more to eat healthy, but guess what you get out of it? Your body is functioning better. You live longer. You live longer. Shannon said, my kitchen has a reverse osmosis water faucet too. Absolutely. City Gin, baby. City Gin is kitchen water. That's pipe water. City Gin, because you're going to be drunk. You're going to be drunk off of what's in that. You know how much craziness is in the water system? I got to find this documentary. Locked. See if you could find this documentary. It came out probably, I would say around 2016, 2017. It was about the water system in metropolitan cities. And they had New York in there. Oh my God. Wait till y'all see the New York thing. Oh my God. My God. Disgusting. Disgusting. They even, let me tell you how nefarious the water thing was. Do you know that the reporter was following the person that they were interviewing from the city water filtration thing, and they have security follow the trucks and they cart a whole bunch of this stuff out far away because there's so many carcinogens and medications and all of it's a whole secret thing. They got this whole secret place. It was crazy. And he followed them and they ran down on him like, why are you following us? What you want? Yeah, for water. So ask yourself. But I have a card I'm going to send to Locke, and she's going to put it in the chat. And this is when you go to restaurants, it is an allergy. Let me tell you what the card is called. I'll be sending it out to my family member. I send it in a group chat, all that stuff. It's called a vegetable oil allergy card. I'm going to send it to Locke right now so she can put it in the chat. And what it is you get this card. You're going to download it for yourself. And when you go to restaurants, you just show them the card and say, look, I have food allergies. I need you to not use any of these oils in cooking my food. I need these oils. So it'll be olive oil. You can provide it to the restaurant. You're going to take a little while longer to get your food. But do you want to be fast or do you want to be unalived? Which one? You want to be unalived and fast or healthy and slow? You got to take your pick. And then you got to, like the old people say, we got food at home. You got McDonald's at home. You don't need to eat in the street because people are nasty. Let's just call it what it is. Yeah, you don't need canola. Canola is trash. Canola is trash. And then all of a sudden people, the canola oil craze was because it was created by Monsanto, the grandfather, the triple OG of genetically modified organisms. Yeah, listen, there's a history here. Y'all know who Monsanto is connected to? Guess who Monsanto is connected to? The Bayer Company. Bayer, like Bayer aspirin. Like, oh, when you get a certain age, you should take a Bayer aspirin every day to prevent heart attacks. Well, guess what else they connected to? The gas chambers in Auschwitz. Bayer, Monsanto, created the gas that they used in the gas chambers that they killed the Jews in. Okay? Educate yourself. Educate yourself. So the people responsible for that, you trust in their oil? They created canola. You think they're giving you something good? Come on now. Come on. People think that the KFC commercial is for Easter? Oh, Bumba Clot. Really? Okay, I'm about to, so some of y'all need to replay. I'm going to play it again, y'all. It's a nasty one. Oh, castor oil is God's gift to, now you just got to remember, there are different versions of castor oil. So if you are using castor oil for your body and to cure your body systems, you need to mix it with poke root. So have an empty glass jar and start using more glass, guys. Stay away from plastics if you can avoid, especially the plastics that have the black bottom and then the clear top. That black bottom is from oil, refineries, all types of tires, recycled stuff. That's what that black bottom is made from. Stay away from those. Y'all be putting them in the microwave, heat it up. Got a little heated tire on your spaghetti. Stay away. My grandmother always used to say, don't use no, I don't want my food in the microwave. No, I don't want a microwave. Put my food in a ware bowl. Ware for her is glass. Put my stuff on a glass plate. Cook, heat up my food in the oven and put my thing on a glass plate. You want no paper. We didn't use styrofoam, all that. Styrofoam. If y'all still using styrofoam plates, nah, stick your hand out right now to the camera so I can smack your hand. Styrofoam plates. Anybody come to your family get together, cook out, whatever, with a pack of styrofoam plates, they don't like you and they want you out of here. Y'all know what it looked like when you take a styrofoam plate and put some of that hot food off the grill on it. It starts to melt. Where you think the substances go? In your burger. They on your hot dog and your burger and on your bread, and you're eating microplastics. If you must use a disposable plate, paper plates, paper plates. Y'all have got to, and listen, you might spend a little more, but stop being cheap to yourself. You can't be Gucci bag and styrofoam plate. Now get it together. You can't be out here flexing. Oh, my boo be spending a bag on me, and I got the drip, and I got the Gucci and the Louis and Goyard and blah 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 blah. And then you styrofoam. Oh, little light work I cook for my man, little light work for my man and the kids, and you got a styrofoam plate on the countertop. You look like a scatterbutt. You think he's stupid? You think he thinks that you are the highbrow, upper echelon, bougie chick that you're portraying on social media? No, boo. You got styrofoam plates for your kids. You're killing them softly. You ain't fooling nobody. See, when you elevate and you ascend, you do it all the way around. It's a comprehensive thing. It's not Gucci bag and styrofoam plates. You can't have it both ways. Like, you got to commit to this life. Sorry. I know I'm hurting some feelings and stepping on some pinky toes, but come on. You said, my husband is a huge carnivore. He's a sweaty mess on high blood pressure medication at 50. I'm a happy vegan. Now, listen, honey, I hate to inform you. I listened to some doctors, and I'm telling you, being a carnivore does not inherently make you subject to high blood pressure. There are a lot of vegans that are so unhealthy. And there are a lot of carnivores who are healthier. They may be big. Now, the sweatiness and the big size and all that, yeah, he could do, because he's consuming other things that are inflaming his body. And perhaps the oil that's being used to cook the carnivorous meat, or maybe he's eating fast food and all that too. And the sweatiness is not inherently bad. It means his body has a natural purging of the waste in his body. To sweat is to purge your system of waste. So the fact that he's sweaty means his body is in the natural homeostasis of consume and push out and repel waste. If you're not sweating as a vegan, if you're not sweating, you need to check. We have sweat glands, and we have salivary glands, we have sweat glands, we have lymph nodes. You are supposed to excrete. The fact that he sweats does not make him inherently a mess. Now, a lot of things will mask themselves as high blood pressure. Number one is a thyroid condition. You need to look under his neck and see if his neck looks big and bulbous, or it has a butterfly shaped thing that looks like it's protruding out. You need to check that thyroid. Thyroid conditions will mask themselves and make it, and the doctor will tell you got high blood pressure, and it's your thyroid the whole time. Get that thyroid in control, baby. All that's gone. So be mindful of what looks like sick and what looks like healthy. There's a lot of slender people that be out of here, malnourished, because your body does need some degree of fat. Fat is not the problem. It is the type. It is the type. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. But I want your husband to, perhaps he needs to balance himself out with exercise, diet, and that whole thing. Is he consuming enough water? Perhaps he needs to consume a little more water. Lay off the sweet, the sugars. I caught the tail end of something Keisha is saying about disgusting brown water carcinogens in that water. I'm not sure what. Oh, PFAS. Yeah. Polyfluoral. I forget the whole acronym, but yeah, PFAS are no good. Oh, you bought the Light Hill reverse osmosis system. Perfect. Perfect. Because PFAS is a forever chemical. And so people, like, you see, I got my little workout clothes on now. These clothes contain PFAS. I wash my sweats and my workout. So I try not to buy too much workout clothes. And I'm really bad. I've always maintained a lot of cotton and linen clothing, but I told y'all there is a psychology of fabric. I told you there's a psychology of fabric. You see all of these? These are not good for us. They look shiny and fancy because they spray them with PFAS. All them Lululemon and all them thing, allegedly for entertainment purposes and edutainment purposes, education and entertainment purposes. Lululemon, guango sidong and back off. All of y'all. Fair use, allegedly, all that. Upon my information and belief, all the disclaimers. All the YouTube verbiage. Yoga pants, predominantly Lululemon and all of those other famous things that y'all like. Baby, they use so much PFAS in the crotch and this whole genital area with all that extra, performance mesh that could pull you in tight. And then young women are like, I've been trying to have a baby and I don't know why. Because PFAS are endocrine disruptors and they will destroy your endocrine and reproductive organs and you will not make picnic. You won't have children. Y'all need to chill on all them yoga pants, all the famous big name ones. Google it. Don't take my word for it. Use their Google. Y'all ain't hear me say that in a minute. The Google, cite my sources, use their Google, look up are what yoga pants and athleisure wear contains PFAS? Or does Lululemon have PFAS in their clothing? Holla back at your girl afterwards. Endocrine disrupting and reproductive disrupting hormones and chemicals that destroy your ability to make a child. But y'all cute though. Lay off of all of the fragrant candles because they have PFAS in them too. So when you burn that, if you want your house to smell like midnight blue river water, I hope it's not the KFC river water, the gravy water. But if you want your house to smell like, tropical breeze with chemicals, endocrine disrupting chemicals, and you wonder why you're sick. You got a lot of candles around your house. I forgot your name. Whose husband is a sweaty mess? That might be why he looks like that. All those fragrant chemicals, all those Glade and all them plugins, PFAS. Look it up. Oh, listen, I'm sharing knowledge with my people because I love y'all. Shannon said, at Joy to the World, I'm doing a castor oil wrap on my stomach at night. Excellent. Drop some drops of castor oil in your belly button. Lay back. Make sure you do a castor oil wrap because, listen, it will impact your sheets. You will start to notice, unless you just do this thing where you're like, okay, I'm just going to, for a week, I'm going to sleep on these sheets and this and that, and you know that that's your castor oil sheets. You're going to have to have 2 sets of sheets. So you could do 1 week off, 1 week on, or whatever. And then every week you change your sheets and you have those, because you're going to start to see the impact on your sheets. You'll know that's the castor oil side. So get a castor oil pack because it prevents it from leaking off onto your sheets and everything. And it keeps it regimented where you want it. Baby, one of the best things you could do. Now, you cannot consume any castor oil. You have to get food grade castor oil. If there are castor oils that you can consume, but it's a food grade castor oil and they're going to come in smaller containers. Then if you buy a big thing, I think like this and it say castor oil, you better make sure it's food grade castor oil. Okay? And not friggin' run of the mill castor oil that is for your body hair. And most of them will say for body hair, eyelashes, eyebrows, and all that. Be careful. Do not be consenting because the flour that it comes from can have some sort of carcinogens if you consume it orally, if you got the wrong castor oil. I don't want y'all coming back like, y'all told me to use castor oil, now I'm sick. No, we told you to consume food grade castor oil. And for all else, you can rub the other castor oil on your body. You see your girl Locked posted the vegetable oil allergy card. Don't say your girl never gave you nothing. Straight from the dopest nerd, because I love y'all. And I want y'all to know vegetable oils cause inflammation in your body. Because it ain't really vegetable oil. Why don't you sit down? Today's homework is I want you to watch a documentary on how vegetable oils are processed. Castor oil, not castor oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. Look at how they're processed. Wait till you see, you're going to be like, oh my God. Y'all going to mess around and be like, what can you eat? And then I will say, join me in becoming an aeritarian. An aeritarian, because all we got left is air. But I'm joking. I digress. But I'm serious. You got to be careful. You got to be committed to this life 100%. I dated a Monsanto. I dated a Monsanto from Belize. That's all I will say about that. Wow. Listen, Monsanto ain't nothing to play with, baby. That corporation ain't nothing to play with. So I'm going to replay the commercial. Look, I'm so far back in the chat. And let me just say this disclaimer from my girl Locked real quick, because she always got my back. The views expressed on the Dopest Nerd channel are based on opinion and belief and are protected by the First Amendment rights as stated in the United States Constitution. What we got left of it. Ba-dum-bum. Love you, girl. See, Desert Druzy says, I have Hashimoto's thyroid disorder disease. Listen, look up Ayurvedic remedies for thyroids. Baby, you'll knock that out the park immediately. You want to know one of the best things for thyroid? I tell all you, get the poke root and castor oil. Lather your throat and your ting, because thyroid is an inflammation of your thyroid gland. Poke root will make it go away. It will wear down. I tell you, anything that is inflamed, swollen, a bump, a bruise, protruding, whatever. If it ain't supposed to be big and it's big in your body and your flesh and all that, rub down the castor oil and the poke root. They have a castor oil pack for your neck. I promise you. Go on Amazon. Locked, can you go on Amazon and put castor oil packs? The ones for the stomach and the neck. I think they have the stomach, the neck. I think they have some for your arm, stuff like that. Please put them, and your legs, your thigh area. Please put them in the chat so people can. And like I said, guys, we're gonna have this whole thing together. As soon as my little techie person finishes up this stuff, I try to tell my daughter this. I found a documentary, yoga pants stretch. Yes, honey, PFAS, honey. They'll mess around. You'll be sitting there trying. You said, I don't like polyester fabric. It's yucky feeling to me. Cotton or linen, only for same sheets. Listen, and that, you get a gold star today, boo. You get a gold star today, too. I went shopping recently. I was like, well, let me buy some new comforters and stuff like that. I mean, I have a ton, but I went to buy some new sheets, comforters, stuff like that. Just like a look fresh up, You put your whole body there. You lay your whole body down on that bed. You want to have a little, sometimes you just got to treat yourself. You want to fresh up. So I noticed that I went, and so I'll go in like the whole Trinity, Marshalls, Ross, TJ Maxx, whatever. I noticed the lady and the thing keep walking down the aisle, because I'm in this aisle for an extensive amount of time. I'm pulling out comforter sets. I like this. I'm looking at them, putting it back, pull out the next one, because you have to read the label on your comforter set. It says polyester. I done told y'all already. There is a frequency of fabric. There is a psychology of fabric. Polyester, acrylic, satin, even silk, even though silk is a natural fiber. So you see all of this? Oh, you need to wear silks, sleep on a satin pillowcase and a silk pillowcase for your hair and all this thing, and get a silk bonnet and all. Listen, they are finessing y'all. They are finessing y'all. You need a cotton, breathable fiber bonnet. You need a cotton bonnet. How the mother is a polyester bonnet going to save your life and help your hair be moist? It's a polyester, it's acrylic fabric. It's not breathable. Y'all be finessed into everything. The bonnet industry is one of the biggest industries. Do you know that polyester, acrylic, satin, even silk has the frequency of DEATH? You are literally laying your head and your children's head with some synthetic acrylic braids, canola, a fiber made of all of those PFAS and all that stuff. You are laying your head down with a synthetic braids in a polyester bonnet. Your brain is sleeping to the frequency of DEATH every night. You, your daughter, your niece, your auntie, grandma have one on, or no. When I was in the pandemic, when I was selling y'all cotton masks that I was making, using 100% cotton, Ankara fabric. For those who don't know what Ankara is, the African prince, I was selling masks during the pandemic with Ankara and bonnets. Some people's like, what's that? Cotton? I don't want that. Okay, go ahead. I sold a bunch of them. My peoples from California, here they was ordering, make it for the family. I even had masks that had elongated for men with beards. Because you know how stupid you look with a mask covering your mouth and everything, but all of the toxins is in your beard? And you go home and kiss your wife and your children and the beard, strike them across their face and the COVID is in your beard or anything else? I made beard masks that go over your beard. You know how much of them I sell? But you know, there's people that be like, you be doing too much. Okay. Perhaps I do. And if you think I'm doing too much, then I'm not for you. You're putting a bonnet on your head and your children's head. Oh, castor oil in the belly button is one of the best things you could do for your life and your family. It heals your body while you're sleeping. It heals all of the things that these yoga pants and all of these impure substances. Castor oil in your navel heals and restores your system every single night. And rub your belly down. Look, women who still using antiperspirant, even though I told y'all not to. I told y'all leave that antiperspirant alone. Y'all still wearing antiperspirant and putting it with aluminum too and putting it under your arms. Why do you think there is such a high percentage of breast cancer in this world? Where do you think it comes from? You know what's under your arm with hair and a socket for where you perspire? Lymph nodes. Lymph nodes. Your lymph nodes are backed up with toxins. There's an Asian, first of all, that's what we got to learn from other cultures too. We try to be so one-track mind because, like I said, America teaches you to have main character syndrome. Me, my, me. It's all about me. Me. There's Asian men that come on YouTube. Sometimes don't click on the boo. Let me tell you the tea in the shade. Click on the Asian man that's like pound under your arm 9 times. Then go to this one 9 times. Go here, put your fingers like this, drain it down from your thing. Drain all your lymph nodes. Pull from here in your collarbone across. 9 times this side, 9 times this side. Pound under your arm. Do mad rounds. This is how you drain your lymphatic system. There's also lemon and ginger oil. That is a lymphatic drain. Google or Amazon, for lack of a better term, maybe Etsy or whatever. Look up lymphatic drain oil. It's usually a combination of ginger and lemon lymphatic drain oil. Rub your legs on them down at night and put on a fuzzy socks. Elevate your feet. Put up your pillows and elevate your feet above your heart. Your head should lay flat, your feet elevated. It will drain your husband. You think your husband got high blood pressure? This is what you need to do for your husband. Give him a flat pillow. It should be, have some buoyancy and some cushion, but not a big meaty pillow, a flatter pillow. Let his head lay flat. Put some pillows to build up. You can get that. It's like a cheese, it's like an incline pillow. You can get it off of Amazon or use their Google, wherever you buy your items online, Timu and such or whatever. I don't know. Amazon has it though. And it's a wedge pillow to elevate your feet when you're sleeping. Here's anybody who's dealing with thyroid issues, high blood pressure, you should be elevating your feet every night above your head. Also, here's another thing you can do. Women, if you have a, I don't, now I'm not one that's partial to bras. I can't stand them. I don't care in the daytime. I don't even like bras for the regular daytime. There was a time where I would be braless at all times, and I had a very good rack that was very upright, even well into my years. I was in the 40s and all of the thing was high up. And women would be so offended by These folks said, Miss Honey, you think you about to be out here healing folks? Oh no. They are coming for your girl. Can y'all hear me? Please put a 4 in the chat if you can see me and hear me again. My goodness. Just said a prayer. It won't work, Satan. Boy, they said, you think you about to be out here healing folks and saying people's names? No, ma'am. We're going to put a monkey wrench in that. Well, good. Glad to be back. Glad to have my, and may the other people who logged off come back. My goodness, these people, yo, you know what this means. Y'all know what this means. Your girl is making waves. I am effective. Because why? Because why? What do you care about me over here in my little corner of the world with my little almost 10,000 people? Why all you care about me? Why? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself, why do they care about me? She said, still blank screen over here. Y'all can see me, right? The 4s can see me. You got to try to reload your thing, Desert Druzy. How many fingers am I holding up? Y'all can see me. How many fingers am I holding? How many fingers am I holding up? Let me do this. It's good to see you back, Locked. My girl holding me down. This is crazy. What kind of impact am I making out here in these YouTube streets? My God, how many fingers am I holding up? Your girl is making impact. Because what on earth? Woo, child. Woo, child. Let me put that on the stream, Keisha, because, honey, you get a gold star for this statement, honey. You done said a mouthful. Keisha said, you speak facts, truth and facts. They don't want that. They want lies, distraction, and BS. Because guess what? I be watching some people telecast, and they don't never get cut off. They always online straight. Jeez Louise. Ooh, child. My gosh. What's up, Regina? Hey, boo. You're welcome. What's the deal? I am making some sort of an impact. Yeah, Jacques, I am definitely going to do that. And I ain't even going to put you on the screen, because if they know what I'm looking at, what I'm talking about, then they're going to try to impact that. I have to do that. This is bananas. All we over here talking about is a little friggin' olive oil and some castor oil and all kind of things, and they vex with me. But people be on talking about tea shade, who zooming, who husband got this, who did, and they don't be interrupted. My gosh. Ain't nothing but little old me over here talking about God and good eating. Sheesh. Wow. Yup, Keisha, you got a gold star, boo. Gold star, because you said a mouthful. It's the truth. Why are they pressed about me and my little old channel over here? Whoo, child. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you so much. Me too. I can't with the drama. Listen, and here's the thing. Not for nothing. I'm sure there may have been a time in our lives where we were titillated with that sort of stuff. You know, it's kind of like if you're on Housewives of the whatever city season 92, you're like, mess. I stopped watching that thing so long ago. The only reason I even know what's going on in this current episode, this current season, is because there was this whole, they put Kenya off because she showed a picture, and then the truth comes out. This is how nasty these people are. This is how filthy these people are, and how diabolical Andy and his crew is. You put Kenya off, and look, revenge porn, we didn't see the picture. Only the people within the facility saw it. Revenge porn is never a good thing because it violates the sanctity and the privacy of someone's physical body. People have the right to display their body at their own free will, and if they so choose to display their nether regions and their hind parts, that's their business. More power to them. They will reconcile that with the Lord and themselves on their day of reckoning. However, when things are placed into context And this woman gets upset about a regular old conversation and says, I got my pistol and a whip. You threatening to whip me like our enslaved ancestors and brethren were, and pull out a gun. You brought a gun into a conversation? Oh, Kenya, nice. Thank God I'm the Christly woman that I am, the woman of God that I am. Because, baby, that old, and I only know that the child can't breathe through her nose and that she had a nose job and the doctor did a wrong job because she's very nasal. I don't know these people. I know Kenya because from back in the days, and then she was, Miss what? America or Miss World? Miss USA? Vanna. No, she can't hear me. You understand what I'm saying? My goodness. If you are on season 29 of the Housewives or whatever season they up to, you are messy and you like mess. I even see the YouTube content creators who steal my work and steal my theories and my points. And I'm not saying borrow, steal, who wait for me now to touch a topic, watch my content, and then go repurpose it onto their content and say what I'm saying, slightly different way. I see you. I watch the channels. Now, like I said, imitation is the highest form of flattery. But what you're doing is co-opting my message, going over there with your larger numbers that you built up off of shade and tea, and making them believe that this is your talking point. So that when they see little old me, they're going to be like, she biting off of so-and-so. No, ma'am. No, sir. Not me. Whenever you see these original thought processes that differ from mainstream YouTube USA or global YouTube, that's my idea. And for proof, all you need to do is go watch my old videos and you will see what I talk about. These are revolving theories with my channel. Listen, content creators, I see you. I see you. I'm not mad at you. I am actually happy that I was able to inspire you to broaden your perspective and your horizons and stop being a one-trick pony. Excuse me. Keisha said, it won't work. There's only one Natanya, boo. Only one Natanya. God broke the mold. Only one you. Thank you, boo. Those are my gold star students. Yes, my love. I see them out there. I see them recycling my narratives and presenting it as if it's, and you want to know the way that you know that it's my narrative? Because it sounds foreign coming out of their mouth. It sounds so fake. Now, they tried their very best to package it and be like, oh, you know what? I don't believe blah, 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 blah. Yeah. If I can inspire you to broaden your perspective and broaden your horizons and see life from a different purview, then I'm happy I was able to share that with you, honestly. I know I'm being facetious a little bit, but you know, listen, you gotta talk your own little, you gotta pat yourself on the back sometime. Because look, if you're waiting for a cheerleading squad to support you and pat you on the back, joke on you. You better try and pat your own back sometime. And that's it. And it's not for self-aggrandizement or anything. I'm just saying, whenever you hear that very fresh perspective on somebody who is, for the common narrative and the tea and the shade, it's my perspective. I can hear my voice in y'all. I could scroll TikTok and I promise you, I can hear my voice in your narrative. You're starting to talk like me. I hear people literally starting to talk like me. And kudos. We got to do something different. We can't all do the same thing. There's 9 million YouTube content creators that do the same. Baby, back in the days, we would call all a monkey see monkey do. And I'm not disparaging monkeys or people. I'm simply saying that was the term we used back in the days. I know a lot of these terms are controversial now. So I'm just saying, back in my day, in my 54 day, we call that monkey see monkey do. Whatever. Huh? Kim Short, what? Oh, yes. Thank you, Locked. Let me play the commercial. My Cash App is on the screen, my love. Mine and Locked, our trusty, dusty, dopest mod in the YouTube landscape. Mine is $THA DOPEST Nerd, and not THE, because there's a THE out there. And I know some of y'all been sending some of my shekels, my coins, my gold doubloons, my cheddar, my cheese, my guapanisha over to the THE. And God bless him for what y'all sent him. But I am THA, dopest nerd. And our dopest mod is $butterfly blue. It's on the screen on the ticker. BUDDAFLYBLUE. Shout out to the people who represented for Nirvana. Yo, y'all out here doing y'all big thing for your girl. Listen, I had to shed a tear or two last night. I was hearing chime, cash register. I said, wow. I said, Nirvana, you out here. They love you, boo. They love you. She was like, oh my God, I'm so thankful. Thank you so much. Y'all are really doing y'all big thing. And I'm going to read the list because now, listen, whatever you send for Nirvana, make sure you put for Nirvana, program for Nirvana, and then put your screen name. So I don't have to be, out in y'all with the whole government and everything. I had to get pulled up by my Gil K-leg. I was calling people government and saying it. I don't want to do that. So make sure you put your screen name and for Nirvana or for whatever it's for in the memo line. You can say for, Natanya, for Nirvana, for whatever. Or if we're doing a fundraiser or something, then, and she's doing actually my daughter-in-law. I got the best daughter-in-law in the whole wide world. My daughter-in-law is the best, but they're working on Nirvana's, what they call it, Nirvana? What she called it again? You sleep? I can't hear her. Anyway, her registry for her off her dorm room registry. So they're working on that. So when she's ready, I will give it to her and we will put up. And I know we made we had some changes here, but that's neither here nor there. However, we have because you guys told us to do it, the dopest nerd. Amazon, even though I know we're boycotting them. So once we're not boycotting them, if it's like not the boycott week for Amazon or whatever, and you so choose, you can also send her some love on her Amazon registry. And I guess it'll just let you buy the thing and it'll send it to her. But for her dorm room, my baby's leaving me. Y'all stuck with me. Y'all are stuck with me. I don't know what I'm going to do with my baby gone. Ooh. I'm having a hard time with this, guys. I'm making a jest right now, but I really, not a hard time, because I understand everything for every turn under heaven, there's a season. And so she's in her season where she's going off to spread her wings and fly in her higher education realm and, be a grown-up and all that good stuff. But, I've literally, guys, I have to tell you something. I've been mothering for 36 years straight. 36 years straight, 3 different children, well, countless children, but biologically, 3 children biologically, and all of the other children, but in a row without stop, 36 years. Most people finish around 20-something. I'm 36 years straight, children in my household. And then it's just going to be no kids in my household. The empty nest syndrome is giving me as my son say, I get a goosebumps. He used to say that when he was younger. It's giving me goosebumps. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this free time, guys. Y'all going to be sick of me. I tell you that. I'm going to be in y'all face like, hey, guys, I'm back. So get ready for all those times where y'all was like, where's she at? Now you're going to be like, child, she made another video. Slow down. Wait. They don't love you like I love you. Why does that make me laugh so much? I'm sorry, guys. That makes me crack up. I don't know why that thing makes me laugh so much, but it makes me laugh. All right, let me show y'all the commercial. Let's get back to the commercial. What camera did I have open with that? Okay. Get ready. I'm sorry. 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll do back. Let me roll it back. Prepare yourself for this madness. Wait. They don't love you like I love you. Wait. Y'all know this tickles the daylights out of me, right? I don't know what it is about that song, but it really does. Prepare yourself for this disgusting thing, guys. Are you guys ready? Prepare yourself for the most disgusting thing that you will behold in a long time, the likes of which the world has ever seen. That's what your boy say. This is the best part of the commercial, the Afrobeat. Why are you using Afrobeat? I agree. Look at this foolishness. Notice the symbolism. See when the bubbles stop? That means he's dead. He's no longer alive. What is this? What is this? This is a chicken tender, no. This is craziness. Absolutely insane. Who sat in on the meeting for that? I guarantee you, nobody named Jamal, nobody named Cookie, nobody named Man. None of them was in there. No Karen, well, maybe Karen, but no Shaniqua, because somebody would have said, y'all done gone too far now. Y'all done gone too far. This is madness. Anybody who thinks this commercial is A-okay, we are making much ado about nothing, and they will continue to consume, where you at, James Brown? You will continue to consume KFC. Put a 5 in the chat. Lady B, you got a gold star, boo. Go to Locked in the office, in the front office, and get your gold star. God help us all. That was sick. That was insane. That commercial is an abomination. Who thought baby, Luna, say it. I rebuke that shit. I rebuke it back to the depths of hell from whence it came, never to return again. For I'm a child of God, covered and anointed by the blood of Yeshua, Jesus the Christ of Nazareth. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. No weapon formed against humanity shall prosper. That is an abomination. That is an abomination. Who thought that was a good idea? Why? What is... The bubbles literally stopped to show when this person ceased being human and breathing on his own. And he didn't listen. They didn't even say, they didn't make it a drumstick or a wing. They brought him back as boneless chicken, honey. Woo! Boneless. He was a chicken tender. My God. My God. Carla. Hey, Carla, what's the deal? My kisses to Granny. Carla said at Natanya and Locked, I suggest a doc that came out in the early 20s called Food Incorporated. It was on Netflix when I saw it. Scary and educational. I'm going to watch that tonight. Put that in the chat, Locked. And What the Health. I told y'all about what the health. Lock, put what the health in there. Keisha, can you believe it, girl? Can you believe it? Keisha said, what the F? Heck nah. This is nah to the nah. This is an abomination. They literally showed us the bot. First of all, she was a chicken. And then she turned into a woman with a lovely, I said Patagonia before, because you have lovely ensembles, Patagonia. I love your outerwear. But clearly it was the Kanye Fall 2018 fashion show with the dystopian earth tones. Everybody in the jungle had these earth tones on. Why? The best part of the commercial, why did they use Afrobeats? And let me tell you how you distinguish Afrobeats from fake Afrobeats or other things. Afrobeats has the, they have, they have to have that 5 beat in it. Clap, 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 clap. That's the bass line. That is the Fela Kuti. Fela Kuti. That is who is the creator of Afrobeats. That is the bass line. Afrobeats must contain that 5 beat. Clap, 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 clap. Why did they put Afrobeats in the abomination chicken human video? Why? It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And bet the weekend is upon us. Some of y'all gonna stop at the liquor store. Not all. You're the nerd hood. Y'all out there where they live in the nether regions of the internet. Over there so and over there so and way back there. The they. Y'all gonna stop and get y'all a bottle of liquor and stop by KFC and get your chicken. Why are they still open? Don't y'all remember KFC from back in the days? That wet, moist, sappy chicken where the skin used to fall off because it was too greasy and it was wet? What fried chicken? Listen, unless you buy extra crispy spicy, and clearly they turned him into an extra crispy chicken tender. Do they even sell chicken tenders? What the? I'm so lost. I'm so lost with this commercial. It is disgusting on so many levels. It's such an abomination. It is such a violation of all that is good and holy in this world. It is this downright disgusting. Thank you. Oh, Kim said, I will always support you. I saw your other post. Let me look. Yes, my love. I got it. Thank you. Shout out to Kim and K-Leg. I ain't busting y'all up with the governments. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. And Auntie Leah. Love you, boo. And Shay, my homie Pastrami Shay in the nosebleeds. First of all, everybody, throw some hearts in the chat for my girl Shay. Throw some hearts. This is my homie Pastrami. This is my sis from Brooklyn. We grew up together. I'm talking elementary days. I'm talking outside in the schoolyard. Zoop, doop, kemela. Say umem. Say kia. Sa umem. And the playing in the schoolyard and the snatching hats and the all that. Yeah. And Ayama Van Zant was our dance teacher, and we was doing the Nutcracker Suite, and I was the Sugar Plum Fairy, and all these. Yeah, back in the day, my girl is up here. She is a nerd herd faithful. And baby, when I tell you she sent Nirvana some love for her trip, oh, y'all, I'm telling you, y'all had me shedding a tear or 2 or 10 last night. I was like, they love my baby. Ooh. And I appreciate it, honestly, because you could be anywhere in the world with your gold doubloons, your shekels, your coins, your dollars, your guapanisha, your cheddar, your Swiss, your bag. You could be anywhere with it. And so I don't care if somebody cash apps me $1. I appreciate it because you're not obligated. And it is an extension of love. It says it is a mutually beneficial relationship between you and I that says, I am giving you something of value and you want to in turn support me with something of value. And I promise you, I do not look a gift horse in the mouth. When I tell you, I am very grateful, very, very grateful. And I appreciate you guys so, so, so much. You have no idea. The love that you show to the Trusty Dusty show producer, my baby. Come on. What parent doesn't love somebody who loves their baby? Come on. I appreciate you guys. And I just want to say thank you, Heavenly Father, for the love that you guys continue to show me here. Not, like I said, it's not just about $1. Your time is money. We've heard that since we were children. Time is money. I didn't create it. You didn't create it. It existed before we did. And the fact that you come and spend your time here with me, because time is a commodity, is a commodity. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And not just your time, your attention. Because look, we done been finessed ever since we were little kids. I done told y'all this before. God just dropped it in my lap one day and was like, pay attention to this. People used to say money is the root of all evil. No, the relentless pursuit of money is the root of all evil. But you want to know what is the number one commodity in the world? I heard this synopsis of people, this mock trial for the Diddy case on TMZ, and they was talking all the, they have, of course, the black guys. I ain't gonna call this man guilty because he rich, and I don't see how he was making money from this. I mean, show me if you say sex trafficking, he was making money. How was he making money? No, dumb, shut up. You're speaking from a poor man's mouth. Wealthy people find all types of other things as commodities. The power was the greatest commodity and asset for him, and he was exchanging power and wealth. That was his wealth. That was his commodity in this exchange of human flesh for power. You sitting there, he can't be guilty of this because how was he making money? They ain't proved nothing because he wasn't making no money. That's what poor people say. When you got $350 million or you're a billionaire, what you need somebody $52 for? What is that going to do for you? That is not the commodity at work here. The power and the manipulation and the gaslighting and the making you give a pound or 10 pounds of flesh for his desire and his will. That is the commodity. See, only poor people think that coins or dollar bills is the only form of commerce and commodity. You want to know what the biggest form of commodity that we've been finessed out of all our lives? Holy Spirit put this on my heart probably about a year ago, and I told y'all early in the channel. Attention. They've been telling us all our lives. Pay attention. Pay attention. This is a commodity. Paying attention to someone. So this mock, y'all go over there around TMZ if you feel like slumming it and look at their mock trial, the mock jury for Puffy. The foolishness. And you can see other people. I saw a couple of people around the table that wanted to say something, but they had these mouth almighty, tongue everlastings, bullying the table. I don't see how you making money from it. So you can't go call it. They always want to take a black man down. They had to finish with that shit. Child, don't get me started. Please don't get me started. Please, because I digress. Only poor people think the only commodity in the world is money. Only poor people think like that. What he was yielding was far more important than a dollar bill to him. Yeah, girl, leave that. Let's say one resounding no KFC. And maybe if they're on Yelp, you could go give them a 1, because that commercial was disgusting. It was just an abomination, honestly. Hey, Mocha. What she said, I'm on the floor. Who? Wait, no, straight tripping, but tell the truth in a way. Indeed. In a way that makes it funny only to buffer the poison. Asheo. That's me. That's exactly what I'm doing. Keisha said, I'm physically sick from watching What the Health. Oh, yes, honey. What the Health will whip you into shape, my love. It will whip you into shape. That KFC commercial was an abomination. Luna said, that's why I say LA and Hollywood feel so dark and evil. Absolutely. Because what lives in your spirit? The person who said, here, I have an idea. What lives in your spirit? Yeah, Locke said she's mostly on the smoothie diet. I'm mostly on the green juice and ginger shots. Listen, you know what I survive off of? Ginger shots, turmeric shots, green juice, celery, kale, this, that. And I'm talking chlorophyll, spirulina, aloe. That's what I drink. I am more liquid than anything. I'm a juicer. I have literally, some shift occurred in this world. And I tell you, I was eating food one day, took a bite. It wasn't my cheese limit. I took a bite and I said, oh my God. I thought I was going to throw up. I was going to blow chunks. I said, baby, when I tell you, thank y'all all for all. See, I'm behind in the comments. Thank you for all the love for my girl Shay. I love her. When I tell you we came from yay high to a grasshopper together. And when your people still rock with you and support you and love you, you know, what can I say? That's of God. That's of God. Thank you, Natasha. She said, God, bring blessings to Nirvana and her new journey. Asheo. Listen, honey, when I tell you something, y'all gonna have to pray for me too, because baby, this empty nest syndrome. I know so many people be like, oh girl, I'm about to be an empty nest today, so happy. And I just be looking at them like, well, you're not gonna miss your kids? Child, I'm gonna miss my baby. I be like, oh, I'll be back, girl. I'm going somewhere. She like, you think you're going? Where you going? Oh, I'm going so and so. She like, okay, girl, be back home soon. Like, I'm gonna miss all of that. I'm gonna miss it. Yeah, so if you haven't seen the documentary, What the Health, you need to look that up. I know Locke put it already in the thing. Let me just say this. Okay, absolutely. Let me just say this. The views expressed on the Dopest Nerd channel are based on opinion and belief and protected by the First Amendment rights as stated in the United States Constitution. Boop. Guys, make sure you download that the vegetable oil allergy card. So when you go out to eat, you go to the staff, they are obligated by law to honor. If you tell them that you have an allergy, they have to honor that. They will cook your food in olive oil. I promise you, if you lay off of the vegetable oils, all of these vegetable oil, canola oil, corn oil, you should not be consuming corn anything. I done told y'all. There has not been real actual corn since the 50s, like 1950 something. If you were not born prior to 1950 something, you've probably never eaten real corn in your life. This is what I'm telling you. This corn that you're eating now is GMO. You might find a little farmer, Mr. Charlie, who got him a farm down south and he drive up to the city and sell his goods. He might have some real corn because he got him a nice little farm that his family done had for about 100 years and he still doing stuff the old way. You might have eaten corn from him. But baby, if you buy commercially produced corn from anywhere, you might as well be eating high fructose corn syrup because that's what you're eating. This is a different corn. Go watch What the Health. I tell you people, nobody, I don't care if you're in America, I don't care if you globally, nobody should be consuming margarine. Stop being cheap. Like I said, you cannot walk around with your Burberry sweater and your Gucci bag, buying styrofoam plates and eating margarine. Stop feeding that to your kids. You see all the things that is the cheapest. And get out of your get out of this mindset of cheap. Look at inexpensive, not cheap. When you look at things that's inexpensive, you are looking for value for the item. Low cost, but value for what you're purchasing. When you look at cheap, you buy anything. My grandmother always says, you buy cheap, you just buy twice. Stay away from cheap. Cheap don't love you. You see the cheap, what y'all call butter, and it says spread, vegetable oil spread? That is not butter. If it doesn't say butter, and butter is good for you. They finessed us out of butter for years, telling you, we get this margarine. Baby, do you know what margarine is? I always told you, don't trust me. Use the Google. Use the Google. Margarine was created by farmers who were having trouble and getting chapped hands from milking the cows. So they created a substance to put on the cow udders so that you can in a more fluid manner, milk the cow. And when all of the wartime and all these things started happening and they needed rations, like I said, Soylent Green, when things were being rationed, they said, let's add some color to this margarine and it can become a replacement for butter. And people started having high cholesterol and all types of illnesses. Why are you buying margarine? Margarine is no food. There is no food, anything that says like American cheese. Why are you still eating American cheese? It's not cheese. It's not cheese. American, the fact that American is in front of it, you should know is already subpar. I'm being honest. Look around your house. Everything of value, everything that you use, even a little thing made in China, nothing is made in America. So why you want American cheese? You don't trust them to make you a chair, but you trust them to make you a slice of cheese? Girl, if y'all don't get some other kind of cheese in you and lay off, American cheese is not cheese. It is called cheese food product. Or matter of fact, they don't even say cheese food product. They say American food product. It is not cheese at all. If you said, have you ever go on Locked? Let me tell you something. When I tell you I love me some Locked, baby, y'all don't know how blessed y'all are. I hope y'all be throwing some cash apps in the chat for Locked too. Cash apps for Locked too, because baby, y'all see this good work she do. Y'all see this good work she be doing. Listen here. American cheese is plastic. Locked, put one of them little videos from YouTube in the chat put a link for one of those videos in YouTube for the family of the people setting the cheese on fire, the American cheese, and it burns like plastic. It turns to a black, and there's black plumes of smoke emitting from it. Also, if you could find the one, be careful of the rice you're consuming too. The Asians have co-opted rice years ago. I've been telling people, be careful of the rice you eat. You should be eating parboiled, long grain rice if you must. And if it's too much starch for you, then you should be possibly consuming quinoa, which is a single short grain. It's like 1/4 of the grain of rice. So you still get that rice-esque thing, but without all of the impurities and craziness and the excess of starch, which turns to sugar, which it turns to cortisol and sugar in your gut, and then it exacerbates things like diabetes and things of that nature. Baby, have you seen the plastic rice? You see the Asians taking plastic bags and sticking them in this machine? Plastic bags, baby. Plastic bags, like your Walmart bag or your shopping bag, sticking plastic bags in the machine. It goes through this machine, does through all these processes, turns into this gooey, stretchy thing, and comes out the other end as rice pellets. You ain't eating rice, you eating plastic. You know what they do? They filled a thing of rice and they bust it down. It's like back in the days where the hustler used to cut the cocaina, used to cut the yayo so he could expand one key and make it 2 keys. They used to put the cut on the yayo, so you're not really getting high, you're getting heh. Well, now they cutting rice. I don't mean to laugh. The absurdity of it, I have to laugh to lessen the pain. Baby, they Locked look, y'all better be sending some cash apps to your girl Locked, baby. She be in here working. You hear me? This is what moderation looks like, boo. No disrespect to other moderators. This is what moderation look like, baby. I tried burning American cheese and this is what happened. You need to watch that. You need to copy that link and put it in your copy board or whatever on the side. Baby, margarine is a molecule away from being plastic. Yes. And yeah, honey, and sugar is 1 molecule away from being cocaina. The yayo. Y'all better watch the plastic rice. There was a Jamaican lady that was boiling rice. Said, "Oh, what is?" She took it, boiled it up, bounce. It bounced. Listen, If you want the real information, see, YouTube can be, social media can be for great things, magnificent exchange of information and all that. But it could also be used for pure foolishness. Some people opt to go the foolishness way. It gets you more followers, more subscribers. You get bigger checks from YouTube. I choose to love my people. I don't see y'all as a hustle and a Vic. I don't. I love y'all. Y'all are my nerd herd family. Whether you're subscribed or not, by all means, let me take this moment to say, if you've not subscribed yet and you love what we do here, by all means, go ahead and subscribe. And while you're at it, hit the bell notification, scroll down to all. And those of you who keep saying you're not getting notified, make sure that your notification is on all. Look in your bell notifications and make sure it's on all. So every time we go live, you are notified. If you have not become a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. I have a theory about not telling people what you want. She said, Locke, not gassing you up, but I can tell you're a brainiac. Listen, when I tell you she is brilliant, brilliant, be on it. You see how fast she be pulling everything up? This is not a joke, you know. This is a real thing. Locke, did she get the other? Let me see. Yes, my love. I got it. Kim, I got it. Thank you, boo. I appreciate it. Check your food ingredients. They say GMO now. Look at your girl bringing you this good information. Check you. Listen, I don't mess with. So first of all, for years, I wouldn't eat potato chips. I did start coming back when they started bringing some better models of types of potato chips out. But let me tell you why I wasn't eating potato chips for like 15 years, because they contain a chemical compound called acrylamide. Google acrylamide. Google it. Now, I know y'all say to yourself, how the heck does she know all this stuff? I'm a weirdo. I told y'all that earlier in the channel. I'm obsessed with information. I went, and this is where me and Shay went to school. We went to a unique school called the Bilingual Center. We had a woman who, I want you to be able to conceptualize what she looks like. You know who Jamie Lee Curtis is? She got the short hair. They called her the Scream Queen. She was in all the horror movies, very slender chick, narrow, like a narrow body. Some would call it like a boy body. And she had a very short hair. That's what Josephine Bruno looked like. Jamie Lee Curtis could be her daughter. Am I right, Shay? I know you nosebleeding it, but it's all good. She could be almost Josephine Bruno, Joe Bruno, as we called her. Well, we called her Miss Bruno. We wouldn't dare Joe, but she's Joe Bruno. She wore a black pencil skirt every day. I ain't never seen nobody have so many pencil skirts in my life. I'm talking some good pencil skirt, not no little flim flam thing. I'm talking good. And like mostly, I remember her in this off-white chiffon, or not chiffon, but it wasn't necessarily, let me think of the fabric. But an off-white blouse, one of the poly and the esters. Off-white blouse, dress blouse, or sometimes she would wear this black one with these little white things on it. Just sleek, always wore some black pumps, good pumps. Short tapered hair, baby, nothing to play with. The woman was light years ahead of time in the field of education. I'm talking, first of all, we had the highest scores in District 17 and a lot of surrounding districts. People that I went to school with got perfect scores on the SAT, okay? Brainiacs. We had family legacies in our school of generations, and they were teachers and administrators. One of the teachers, Madame Innocent, she was one of our main teachers. She went on to become, if I'm not mistaken, she was assistant principal, right? Or principal after a while, but Madame Innocent, God rest your soul. We had amazing teachers. Now, some of them, yeah, they left a lot to be desired. But we had a combination of a public, it was completely different than public education. It was like we were in a public school, PS 189, but we were like a magnet school. We were like a Montessori. We were an amalgamation of something. It was unheard of. It was not done before. Okay? She was an exceptional educator, light years ahead of her time. We had a math department in my school, created some math whiz geniuses. Shay was one of them. Brilliant. Baby. Yeah, we had a teacher named Newbie, who was Miss Bruno's sister. Baby. Newbie walked around in a smock. Now, Joe Bruno, slender, wore her pencil skirts every day. Newbie, a smock. You know what a smock is? That your nana used to wear, had the two big pockets on the side, and they got keys, peppermints, all kind of thing inside. They might have a little sweet potato pie, some pasta, all kind of things. And them pockets used to hang. She had this big set of keys. And Newbie loved education, and she was a math genius. She loved education so much. Baby, you was going to get this lesson if you liked it or not. And not trying to indict nobody. I don't know if Newbie's still alive. God rest her soul if she's not. Triple OGs, where we grew up, where we actually played outside, drank out the water hose, left the house because you couldn't go out before noon. But once noon hit, we was gone in them streets, honey, gone. You had to get home before the street light. Yeah, we ain't gonna be in and out. So once you went out, you was outside. Now, you had to get your source of food. You had to get your everything from outside because there ain't no in and out. You ain't gonna be going in and out. You walk in that house one too many times and look over your shoulder, stay inside. I'm not going to tell you again, don't be going in and out my house. Them days where we drank out the water hose. We ran in the water fountain, the Johnny pump, the fire hydrant. Somebody took a Similac can and cut the top off and the bottom, grinded it. The boys used to grind it on the sidewalk to dull them things. And when they put that Similac can over that fire hydrant, baby, a water cannon, knock you down. I'm talking civil rights, water hose, water cannon, knock you down. But we loved it. It was fun to us. Back in these days, Newbie was known for kicking your chair over if you got the problem wrong, okay? You're going to get this damn algebra, and this is whether you like it or not. And we learned it early. We were the geniuses of listen, if you think I'm an anomaly, baby, Sant Bilong, where you had to take French or Spanish, Centro Bilingue, baby, there are many of me. I might be a little more exceptionally eclectic, but there's lots more where I came from. We were just a group of dynamically brilliant and intelligent people. It was like, what's the thing where all of them went to the school because they were brilliant and they had superpowers. And it was, I'm telling you, it was a different thing. We used to go to the Poconos. People was like, the Poconos? Who goes to the Poconos? We used to go to Washington. Like, these were regular trips. I remember when Miss Bruno made, you remember this, Shay? When Miss Bruno made, when we had clubs. We had the roller skating club in the middle of the day. You just break out, go to clubs. No classes, clubs. You go roller skating club, bicycle club. They bought a bunch of bikes. You'd be riding outside all up and down. Roller skating, this little area by the lunchroom off to the side was where the roller skating. I think kindergarten classes were over there. In this area, we would roller skate, and in the gym, and in the lunchroom sometimes. We had swimming club. I had a teacher, Sima Kravitz, my favorite teacher. She was my 5th grade teacher. I loved Sima Kravitz like there was no tomorrow. I used to win spelling bees. I loved her. This woman, we had a different thing. She used to take me to downstate medical facility for swimming class. She gave me a cat, a Russian blue, a gray cat. He tore everybody up except me. When I tell you, he went through my neighborhood, eviscerating people. And we're still friends to this day. We have a lady that was a teacher, and she's Mary McCahill. She worked in the office. She was a teacher from the original bilingual center in the small building before we went to PS 189. Listen, we are a family. We are a family. We still speak. My kids say, I'm 50, I'll be 55. My kids say, why the hell do you know people that you went to elementary school with? We didn't just go to elementary. PS 189, bilingual center, went from pre-K all the way to the 8th grade. Families, brothers, sisters, cousins, nieces, nephews, entire families went to this school. I remember me and my sister was getting in trouble. Miss Bruno told my mother, you spoil them. You buy them too much stuff. That's what the problem is. They're the best dressed kids in the school. Stop buying them stuff. So help me God. My mother went to Sears and bought some of the ugliest coats she could find. And that was I was mad at Miss Bruno. I love Miss Bruno with my heart and soul. I promise you, I was mad at Miss Bruno for a while. These coats were hideous. Hideous! And so help me God. My mother say, we would get up in the morning, think we getting dressed, take my fly coat. She'd be like, where do you think you're going in that? Miss Bruno called me yesterday. Go get that other coat. I used to be like, oh my God, Miss Bruno, why are you doing this to me? Why do you hate us? Yes, it was that kind of stuff where the principal was on a first name basis with everybody's mama and knew every kid. Oh, if you thought you were sliding by and Miss Bruno didn't know who you were, choke on you. And she would wring your ear, but she loved you. And we got an education. We are brilliant. And some people, we spread far and wide throughout this world. And guess what? If you've dealt with a person that went to the bilingual center, you know you're around somebody who was educated down to the ground. You hear me? My oldest son went to, okay? A lot of people send their child back after. Yeah, this was a whole different world. We went to the Poconos. We went to Washington. We used to go to the Smithsonian. We did a lot of stuff. Ariane got in trouble because she was like, Mommy, have you seen my Simon? Long story, private joke, but whatever. Okay? This was a place to be. And when I tell you, she educated the people who entrusted her with the care and education of their children. We are still friends to this day. And I love my bilingual center family. Long live PS 189. Okay? I remember the mini building for another school was in our schoolyard, and it contained special education students from the other school, IS 398. Somewhere along the line, people in the neighborhood got this notion that because the mini building was for special ed, that we also were a whole special ed school. I'm like, Yamad, we were brilliant. And no disrespect to special education, because we all come in all shapes and sizes. Howsoever, we were fiercely brilliant. It rubbed people the wrong way. But not everybody, some people were annoyed by us because they're like, this doesn't make sense. How is this normal? But this is what it was. This is what it was. And I love and I'm proud of that. And yes, I am friends with people that I was in second grade with and first grade. Yes. And I love it. And they my old school ride or die. Tons of them. Tons. We family. We're not even just friends. We're family. So shout out to all of my people that's watching. Shout out to Shay, all my people. Just had to say that. Oh, you said who said they had a Russian blue? Locked. Yes, acrylamide. Thank you, Mocha. That's why I love my Nerd Herd family, because we all in this together. Mocha, acrylamide is used in thickeners and plastics and adhesive. A potential carcinogen in high doses causes cancer to the kidneys and the uterus. Like I said, kidneys, endocrine system, uterus, reproductive. Like what I tell y'all, endocrine disruptors and reproductive organ disruptors. I didn't tell all of that. I tell all of that. I'm just trying to help. And that's why these folks said, kick this heifer off the internet, because who she thinks she is? Saving folks. Who she thinks she is? I know people say, how do you know all of this? This is a product of God's orchestration, the technique that Joe Bruno and Nubi Russo and everybody else used in educating us. It penetrated our subdermis. It penetrated our cerebral cortex. Everything that I've ever read is stuck in my head. When I told y'all from the get-go that I was different, I meant it. Y'all see me sit here. I be spitting everything. It lives here forever. That's why I'm single, because I ain't for everybody. You see all this information? Imagine a man who ain't of this ilk listening to all this. He'd be like, I tired of this, I didn't want to hear nothing about how many drops of water could land on a penny. Incidentally, my son told me that. And the answer is 17. If you take a water dropper or a medicine dropper, you can drop 17 drops of water onto a penny before it busts and spills over. That's my oldest son. My oldest son taught me that because we're all the same way. I'm a cerebral individual. I keep telling y'all that. That's who I am. But anything I have, I know it is not for me. God doesn't give you anything just for you. It's each one teach one. And so this is a mutually beneficial relationship. I'm sharing this information because I want y'all to live. I plan on being, like y'all call me, YouTube godmother, YouTube auntie. I plan on being here forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. And I will be known for this, sharing the good news with my people about God, about eating, about carcinogens, about Febreze and all them things that are spraying your house and disrupt your endocrine system. So imagine if you spraying Febreze, burning Glade plugins with Lululemons on, eating potato chips. What you is asking for with a polyester bonnet on, baby? You asking for trouble. Just trying to help y'all mitigate some of that. Like I was saying when I was in the Marshalls and all that, the lady kept coming in my aisle, looking at me, looking me up and down like, I ain't even pay her no mind. Because first of all, you're not going to gaslight me to feed. Huh? What? You think I'm stealing? I'm not a thief. So I'm not going to answer you. You looking to see why I'm taking so long in the aisle? Because I want to know which one is 100% cotton. Cotton all the way through and through, with my sheets and my comforters. And I was buying a few. Guest room, Nirvana room, my room. I was buying a few. Kennedy got her own room here at Grandma's house. Sheets and all kind of things. And that's what I do. I went from store to store to store. I want 100% cotton. Plus, aesthetically, it had to be pleasing to my decor and what I was looking for. So yeah, it take a while. If y'all got non-stick pans in your house, throw them out. Throw them out. Go get you some stainless steel or cast iron skillet. Cast iron is good for you, especially people who are anemic and suffer from anemia and be chewing ice and all that thing. You need that cast iron thing that, boy, you, baby, it's good for you. Get you a cast iron pot, but don't be sticking it in the sink and wash it and make it get rust up and thing. What you do to a cast iron skillet is you season it. You clean it with olive oil. You season it. You take yourself a good, whether you use paper towel or whatever, and you soak it with oil, and you clean your pot with the fresh oil. You clean it out. You can take a light wet thing and go it over and take out any excess, and that's it. You don't sit it in the sink sitting with water and it be rusting, and now you got lockjaw and you can't understand why. Okay? Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Messiah said, yep, no synthetic scents, essential oils only. That's right. No synthetic scents also. She said, dang, girl, you hitting us. What up, Freya? Dang, girl, you're hitting it with the polyester talk for me right now. I have a huge coat on and I love this. Yeah, that is that. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. You see all of these fibers, petroleum-based. Your bonnet, that polyester bonnet, is made from petroleum oil, or anything that's polyester and acrylic and all of that is carcinogens, tires, petroleum, all this stuff. Go look and see how oil is, the refinery process and all. And you're consuming this. Also, I told you, any fiber that is not, so the highest frequency fiber, there's something called the psychology of fabric. The highest frequency, and when I say frequency, I mean like vibrational frequency. When we say somebody's low vibrational, high vibrational, your frequency, energy is frequency, goes all through the earth, everything. The highest frequency fabric you can wear is cotton, linen, and wool. Highest frequency. Now, here's the thing. You cannot mix linen and wool. They cancel each other out. So you should, although they for two different weathers anyway, unless it's a heavy linen. Don't wear wool and linen together because they're both 100, but together they cancel each other out. You might as well have on polyester. So if you're wearing cottons, wear your cottons. You wear linens, you can wear linen and cotton, but you cannot wear cotton and you cannot wear linen and wool. They cancel each other out. You should not be sleeping on those silky, satiny sheets. You should not be wearing no polyester bonnet. Do you know polyester, acrylic, satin, all these spandex, this, that, any of them stretchy, with shiny, if it got shine to it, stretch to it, you guess what the frequency of those fabrics are? They have the frequency of a DEAD body, a dead carcass. Yes, silk is a natural fiber, but trust me, silk has the frequency, low frequency like satin too. You can't wear silk. All of these people like, you have to wear a satin bonnet, you got to wear a silk bonnet, you got a silk pillowcase, satin pillowcase. No, they've been finessing y'all. They've been killing your membranes, killing your brain cells, unaliving your brain cells for eons, finessing you. First of all, anything that comes from mainstream society, you should be side-eyeing. Mainstream society, like, you need a cotton. And who is the purveyor of the cotton, of the satin bonnet? Friendly neighborhood beauty supply store. Who? You mean the people that America sent their troops over to their country to annihilate them during a war? The Korean War? Oh, yes. You mean who? And no disrespect to the Asians. I'm just saying. They playing the long game. If y'all took a nuclear weapon and bombed my country, and I was able to reassess, get it together, and rebuild, and now technologically more advanced than anybody in the world, I could play the long game and slow poison you with satin bonnets and synthetic hair and all these things. Baby, baby. You think they kicked me off the internet for nothing? Or I must be making sense. They didn't kick me off that internet for nothing. Ask yourself. Okay? But I see some Brooklyn in here. Julie Jones. She said, girl, yeah, I'm from the same streets you're from. Brooklyn Botanical Gardens, Brooklyn Public Library, Prospect Park. I didn't go to that school. Sounds like a wonderful school. But I'll tell you what, Julie Jones, baby, the teachers I was talking about, Maramino-san, and all these, and a whole bunch of our 189. You probably know a chick named Michelle Antoine, her brother, Pascal Antoine. They lived right there in Tivoli Towers, across from the Brooklyn Museum. Baby, I was there every day. We used to go, honey, Shay, I know you watching, boo. Do you remember Bigfoot? Listen, we had this right there at the Brooklyn Museum before you go into the kids' entrance at Prospect Park, where that little staircase that went up into the park, right by the children's entrance to the Brooklyn Museum. We had a secret passageway we called Bigfoot. Everybody wanted to come to Bigfoot. It was a hole in the gate, and it went into Prospect Park, and it led us through the back of Botanical Gardens. Baby, we used to find all kind of stuff in the woods, and we was all up and through there. It was our little Narnia, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It was our little oasis in the city. And we would leave our book bags in the kids section of the library, the Brooklyn Public Library. We would leave our book bags in the kids section, hide them and stuff, and put them in. Nobody would steal your book bag and all that back then. And then we would go to Bigfoot, baby. I used to, we're going to the library. We're going to the library. I got to go to the library. I got a project, baby. My mother used to be like, yeah, honey, my girl's at the library. They go to the library every day, honey. Them kids are smart. We wasn't always at the library. We would go to the library, but we would also go to Bigfoot. We used to be hanging out. That's my stomping grounds, girl. We walked on the same blocks. Yeah, we gotta transition to cotton and linen. In the wintertime, wool. And you can wear cotton and wool. We gotta start the transition. If you lay down at night on satin sheets or polyester sheets with a satin bonnet on a silk pillowcase, you are literally enshrining yourself in the frequency of, you might as well be laying in a coffin every night. I know that sounds alarming, but I have to say it to you that way. Don't listen. I always tell you, cite my sources. Cite your sources. Don't take my word for it. Lock, throw something in the chat for them now. Listen, cite your sources. Go to the Google, and our sister Locke is going to put something in the chat for you. The frequency of fabric. Find the frequency of fabric, Locke, and see if you could throw that in the chat for them. I'm telling y'all because I love y'all. Thank you, Lady B. She said, we grew up learning that satin is the only way to prevent hair breakage. How foolish. It is an artificial fiber. How could that be the way to sustain hair breakage? Think about it. How does an artificial fabric that is not breathable be the only way to sustain hair breakage? You know them bonnets be full of grease and people's skin does be breaking out. That bonnet be does nasty. You know what a nasty scarf before bonnet world came? We was all wearing scarf and head tie. You know how nasty a scarf was if you didn't wash your scarf? You could tell all the chicks that didn't wash their scarf. Their skin was, oh God, boy. Mm-hmm. There you go. We was finessed out of a lot of stuff. Who's that? Keisha said, I found 5 videos on fabric alone, but theirs is a documentary on the fabrics we wear. Look up the psychology of fabric. The psychology of fabric is what the frequency that those fabrics carry and what they're equivalent to. And the frequency is, look, we go through spring cleaning. We go through times when we purge our households. Purge your households of all in polyester sheets. And here's the thing. I would say, here's with certain things. Now, I'm one of those people that like to say, I don't want to, if I have something that somebody could use, I don't want to throw it away. But here's the deal. The more we know, the more we grow. And each one teach one. So if I find out that something is no good for me, I don't want to pass it on to someone else. Oh, 246? I know 246 and 181. I don't know what 181 is, but I know IS 246. I don't want to pass it on to somebody else. So while it would be nice to say, give them away to somebody, if I don't want to lay in the, and here's the deal. If you give it away or you give it to one of the places, they're going to put it in the thrift stores. And yeah, lots of people shop in the thrift stores, but a lot of people who are financially challenged and in the lowest rungs of society shop at the thrift store. Do we need to add to their misery by giving them old sheets? That's the frequency of a coffin. Throw them in the trash. Throw them away. Throw them sheets away. Go to the store, read the packaging. Listen, you could go to Ross. You could go to Marshalls, TJ Maxx, you can find sheets for $20. Look around. Sometimes it'll be $23. You might find one for $15, like a twin or a full. Get yourself some sheets. Now, for cotton sheets, you're going to be looking in 30s and the 40s, but you could get yourself some good 100% cotton sheets. Listen to me. First of all, you are going to have the sleep of your life on some cotton sheets. You're going to have the sleep of your life. Look at my girl Locke. Listen here. Can't nobody tell me about my mom. Okay? Can't nobody tell me about this brilliant moderator over here. Okay? Look at this woman. Y'all better put some respect on her name and her title. Put some respect on that name. Locked hair don't care. Baby. Thank you, my love. She said, appreciate these messages. You're really talking truth behind the breaking through the BS. Absolutely. That's what we're supposed to be doing here. If we are not helping each other, what is the point? Listen, you're right. You're 100% right. The clothes these days have low vibrations. Absolutely. A dub he. I remember a young man, Oriental, state that what was in the fabrics, But thank you, Natanya. You're absolutely welcome. You're absolutely welcome. They don't want mixed fabrics and frequency. Yeah. Look it up. I'm telling you, it's the frequency of being unalive. And that's right. Make sure it says 100% cotton, because they also, you don't want silk. You don't want silk. Silk also has low frequency. Look it up. Unfortunately, silk is the only breathable fiber that you would think that would be safe. Because of the processing, it makes it low frequency. Because I was like, oh, listen, I used to love me some silk now, honey. Baby. But unfortunately, silk don't pass the test. I just clicked and got like 10 messages from me. So I'm subbed. Well, thank you, my love. Welcome to the family, darling. Tell a friend, or 10 or 2 or 100. Who said it? Hey, Natanya. What did I just see that? Hey, Natanya, blessings to you and your family. Oh, hey, Leilani. How you doing, my love? Blessings to you and your family as well. Listen, guys, you know Nirvana. I don't know if you haven't seen yesterday's, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I think the day before yesterday. If you haven't seen the day before yesterday's show about Nirvana, Nirvana was nominated with this big award for future scientists, medical doctors or scientists, and scientists, people in the STEM. She was nominated for this amazing award. It's taking place in June. I'm so proud of my baby. I'm so proud. It's for academic excellence. You can't even be a part of it unless you have 3.5 or better. Nirvana's a 4.0. And I'm just super proud of her. And of course, she's been awarded. Well, she's nominated to be awarded, but there's also a program that goes with it. So they could just go to the one-day event and get the award, but there's also a 3-day program. And I want her to be able to go to the program. And I said I think Locke should be able to put it in the chat. The tuition is 1,000, I think it's like 1,285 or 1,825. I don't know. It's in one of the papers. She got the papers, but I showed it up. Go look at the old, not old, but the episode from, I think it was 2 days ago. These days start to blend. Yes, we're so proud of. Thank you, Shannon. Congratulations, Nirvana. Listen, when I tell you I'm so proud of my baby, when I tell you I hit the womb Powerball. Thank you, Willie Gross. I hit the womb Powerball. She's an amazing young lady, and I'm so proud to be her mother. All of them. Yeah, it's Nirvana, Nirvana. Thank you, Leilani. I appreciate that. She's just an amazing young lady, and I just want to be able to foster her ability to be a part of everything. I know this is ordained from God. You'll see my story where I talk about this lady that walked up to me in this private client floor of this hedge fund that I worked for. The private client floor is so exclusive. Just anybody can't get up to the private client floor. I'm talking about these are the founders, the corner offices. And I was pregnant with Nirvana, and she said, is it okay to ask an American woman about her pregnancy? A woman about her pregnancy in America? I said, yes. And she said, what do you do? What are you having? I said, I don't know. I just want to find out naturally. She said, well, do you know what you're going to name the child if you have a girl? And I said, well, I always had this name. If I had a daughter, I would name her Nirvana. I have 2 sons. And she said, and what does the father want? I said, well, he wants Samadhi. And she reached out her hand towards me and said, it has been ordained. And I was like, huh? What are you talking about? And she said, Nirvana and Samadhi mean the same thing in 2 different cultures. And when I ran to the computer, typed in Nirvana, it says, see Samadhi. I typed in Samadhi, see Nirvana. I couldn't believe it. I was so overwhelmed and overcome. I went to the bathroom to cry. I came back. I was like, where's Sammy? People were like, who? I said, what? The lady, Sammy. She was here. She was talking to me. It was like, what lady? I said, Irish, Celtic accent, buzz cut like Sinead O'Connor, free-flowing black fabric, wood and rubber jewelry. Where's the lady? Everybody was like, who? Who? I said, I was going to the train station. I saw her again, getting in a cab like a movie. She stood there. I was like, Sammy. She looked looked over her shoulder, got in the taxi, and looked out the back window at me as the taxi drove away, like a movie. Never saw this woman again until I was about to sell my house in 2020. I think Nirvana was, what I said, 12 at the time. And my house was empty. I had a mattress on the floor, the bed on the wall, because I was, they wanted the key at closing. And so I had all my stuff. I'd given away a lot of stuff, and I had the rest of my stuff I was putting in storage. And I was sleeping, and God was like, get out. I have something for you to see. Get out. Whispering me to wake up. And I kept hearing this voice in my sleep. I was like, I know that voice. Whose voice is that? I know that voice. But I'm still sleeping. I peek over. I didn't jump up. I kind of lift up and look, because the TV was on the floor leaning against the wall. I look over. I said, Sammy, the woman from when I was pregnant with Nirvana, was on a TED Talk. I jumped up screaming, Nirvana! Sammy! She was like, what? Sammy, the lady when you was pregnant with me? I said, yes. She looked at the TV. She said, oh my God, mommy, she looks exactly the way you described her. This was in 2006 or 2007. I met this woman. Years later, the woman is on a TED Talk. I'm laying in my house in 2020. She on a TED Talk. She looked exactly the way she looked when I met her. Same thing, free-flowing black fabric, just free-flowing. Baby, I know it was otherworldly. I know it was God. I know it was angelic. I know it was bigger than anything I could imagine. And when I tell you, when I said Nirvana, she said, oh my God, you know what that name is? It's a very special name. I said, she embodied Nirvana. Nirvana, most people say, oh, your mom, oh, do you know what that name is? Like the rock group. And your mom named you after the rock group. And Nirvana always says, ever since she was little, no, my mother named me after the theory of spiritual enlightenment. And people be like, oh, excuse me, okay. Where y'all think Nirvana got the name? Why do you think they chose it? You think it started out as a rock band? No. And what would me and my black self be naming my child after a grunge rock 1990s rock band where the lead singer died of a quote unquote drug overdose? It had a name before, it had a meaning before it was a rock band's name. Now, granted, they gave it light and it's everywhere. There's nowhere I can go since my child was born without seeing every single day I see a Nirvana shirt or Nirvana. Every day we see no less than 5. I promise you. All over, I could pull up to our school, 5 people in the front waiting for their parents to pick them up. They all got on Nirvana shirts. I always say, how does that feel to see your name everywhere? She was like, I'm just used to it. It's my name. Nirvana. It is the highest form of spiritual enlightenment. They say when you attain Nirvana, it is right before perfection and like the level of Jesus. That's what Nirvana means. To attain true Nirvana is the highest form of spiritual enlightenment. And then you got to go because you done attained everything. So, but I digress. Yep. And that's right, K-Leg. Look at her now on her way to change the world. The TED Talk, her name is Carolyn McHugh. Put that in the chat again, locked, so Luna can look it up. She did a TED Talk on and the TED Talk she did was actually about your true face. So are you familiar with the concept of your true face? Let me slide down because I know I'm behind in the chat. Oh, baby. Before I could say it, Locked had it up there already. Bumbleclot. Look at my girl. Y'all better put some respect on. Listen, this is a master class in moderation. If you got a channel moderator and she ain't performing at this capability, Locked will be teaching classes. Locked will be holding classes. We're going to create another channel. On this channel, Locked will be creating content creation channel. Moderation. Listen, baby, masterclass. What can I say? It is the art of being yourself. Sammy's name is Carolyn McHugh, and she talks about your true face. So basically, a lot of people don't understand that how we see ourselves in the mirror and our reflection when we look in the mirror, like I'm looking at the screen for YouTube and it's reflecting my own self back to me. The face that we see and the version of our face that we see is not what the world sees. they see a different version of our face, which is why some people could be like, I don't know what they talk about, baby. I'm cute. And it's not what the world sees. So thank you so much, Mocha. I appreciate you. But absolutely. And listen to her TED Talk. It's dope. And she has a few other things. She's amazing. I reached out to her and everything too, but I never got any feedback. Hey, Tracy Perlot or Perlote. How are you? Welcome to the family, cuz. Let me hold $1. That's how you know you're a member of the family for real. Let me hold $1. Welcome to the family, my love. Everybody give some love to Tracy. She's a newbie. Girl, when you hit the replay gang and you watch this over, you're going to love it. You could have been on from the beginning. I don't know. I'm just assuming. But yes, really, Shannon. There's something called your true face. That's what that particular TED Talk was about. Wait till you see it. You're going to be shocked. I was like, wow. Oh, you just joined the chat, baby. Wait till you hit that replay gang after we get off and you watch it over again. It's amazing. And then, do a deep dive and go down, look at some of my other videos and lives and stuff like that. It's you're going to love it here. Take it. We have a thing we say, come on in, take your shoes off at the door, grab a pair of fuzzy socks, put your feet up on the couch and stay a while, honey. Your family now. Sometimes we take drink orders, but Locke be so busy, honey. She be so busy. She ain't got time for drinks. But, we can still come in and give our drink orders. On the next show, we will give our drink orders still. I'll have some hors d'oeuvres waiting, some finger foods, some like little, It's a pleasure to meet you and a pleasure to have you here. Like I always say, you could have been anywhere in the world in these YouTube streets, but you chose to be with us, and we appreciate you. We thank you for that. And we're going to laugh. We might cry sometime, but you are always going to learn something here. And we do things a little different around here. We discuss issues and not people. We discuss issues and not tea and shade and mess and all that. We grown, all the way grown over here. And we are very nostalgic, and we are about learning and living and loving. And like we always say, life be lifing, but baby, God be God. And the one thing you're going to get over here is some God, honey. Oh, I'm sold out for the Lord now. You're going to always hear some scripture up in here because that's just who I am as a person. And you'll get to know my story. I don't know if you know my story. You may or may not. 25 years ago, I was an innocent bystander in a nightclub. Went out to help my friend promote her party after I'd gotten saved and I wasn't partying anymore. But I went out with my girlfriend to promote her party that was coming up on New Year's Eve. I went out the day after Christmas, which is known as Boxing Day. Some guys got into an argument in the club and I got shot in the face. It just so happens that the person who shot me was Sean Puffy Diddy Combs. And so that's a little of my story. You'll go on a deep dive and find out a little more and things of that nature. But there's so much more to me than just the woman that Puffy shot. So I just want to say that. But we get that stuff out the way. Bennett says, I'm taking all kind of notes tonight. Thank you for all the information. Absolutely. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Yeah. You didn't know that, Freya? She said, girl, what? You didn't know that? Yeah. See, I always think everybody knows that. Take a deep dive. Take a deep dive down. Thank you, Luna. I love that. Luna said, Natanya, you've helped me reconnect with Yeshua. Thank you, my love. It is my pleasure. I keep telling you, I'm a disciple. And our duty as disciples is to usher people into the kingdom, bring them back to God. I'm not telling you how to have a relationship with God. I'm not telling you what kind of relationship to have. I'm just saying in these dire times where we got orbs, we got UAPs, UFOs, bells, whistles, ding, dang, tick, tack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone up in that sky. You better know God. You better be at the foot of the Most High God. Because, baby, you trust in man or anything else, joke on you. So I feel pleased to be able to share Yeshua, the Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, and his blood that saved us, washed away our sins, his Father, the God of omniscience, omnipresent, and omnipotent, God Almighty, the Most High God, our Lord and Savior, and the Holy Spirit, the God of now. So it's my pleasure to share that with you guys. And we are in the age of Aquarius, so only truth shall reign. By the prophet, the great Cat Williams. The truth shall be revealed, and it shall. And you'll get to learn a lot more about me. She said, you look unharmed. Why, thank you, my love. I'm also 54, darling. I'll be 55 years here. I actually got shot in my face. So this is why I tell you I'm so sold out for God, because this is a God thing. There's no way you could be shot in the face with a 9mm hollow point bullet called a cop killer on the street, for which only 5% of people survive and only 3% have cognitive abilities after that. The other 2% have what is considered a vegetative state or quote unquote brain dead, which I'm finding out now that there's actually no such thing as brain dead. It's a vegetative state. So I am a walking blessing of God, a miracle, everything. To God be the glory for everything here with me. And that is why I am God-centered, God-focused. And it bothers some people, but I always tell them, no love lost. I'm just not for you. Or you just don't realize that I'm for you yet. But when you come around to the goodness of the Lord God Almighty, I'll be here waiting for you. So we have fun over here. We're not dry and corny, honey. We be kikiing. But on the good note, holy macaroni. Baby, you brought it back. That's old school. We love old school over here. See, look, you belong. We belong. And just know now that I tickle myself pink. I will make jokes and laugh and have a good laugh because I love my own company and I am hilarious. I take myself very seriously and I laugh at myself too. So feel free to laugh with me. Julie said, thanks for the shout out, sis. I turned my daughter on to you. Love your channel. God be the glory. Absolutely. And thank you so much. Come on. Tell your daughter. Won't you come, darling? Bring your friends with you. Won't you come? Subscribe. Click the like when you come in so the algorithm knows we're doing something. And share us with a friend or 2 or 10 because, baby, there's something for everyone. And you are going to find out soon that the level with which I spit knowledge is otherworldly. I'll just say that. And one of my favorite things that always makes me laugh is, wait, they don't love you. Like, I don't know. I can't even get through it. That is so funny to me. I don't know why. It is really funny to me. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Tell them, Luna, we're in the age of Aquarius, baby. Had to repent, baby, because only truth shall prevail. And so what really, just for a little, an additional backup, what really blew my channel up was a few years ago, like 3.5 years ago, I've only been on YouTube for a year and odd, and actively probably for 10 months, or maybe 11, whatever, something like that. However, 3.5 years ago, God told me that Puffy's world would fall apart, that he would attempt to unalive himself, and that Babylon would fall. And I started making that prediction and telling people because God blessed me with a prophetic gift. And can I tell you, everybody wasn't too thrilled about it. So when the Cassie lawsuit came out, and then the Little Rod lawsuit came out, and there was all this talk where in the reading of his lawsuit, he said, Puffy said, I shot that woman in the face in the club. And I made a TikTok, which I did not think would go viral. I wasn't aiming for viral or anything. Trust me. I was waiting for my daughter to come home from work, sitting on the couch. If you see the original TikTok, baby, it's dark. People was like, you need a ring light. See my ring light right here? Because, baby, when I tell you I got more you need a ring light comments than anything. But I couldn't stay silent anymore. I said, what? You bragging about it now after you lied for 24 years? And it went mega viral. Based on what I know, that original TikTok, and I wasn't monetized yet or anything, so that original TikTok has been shared and viewed in excess of 13 million times. And so I should have way more subscribers than I do. And I'm sure I actually do, but I got thrown off the internet the other day twice for saying a particular name. Once today, just for sharing all this goodness. So You in the right place. Bring a few people along with you. Yeah, I thought I'm sorry. I thought you knew. Here's the thing. I always think people know that, but I'm not just that. There's so much more to me. But I like to get that out of the way. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Listen, God had something better planned and bigger planned, and so I appreciate it. And as my girl Locked says, reminds everybody, we appreciate you spending your valuable time with us. We know you could have been anywhere in the world, but you came here to be with us, and we appreciate you. And we love y'all. Aw. She said, hi, Natanya, and Locked in chat. Hey, God's daughter. Hey. Our church's mission is to build disciples who love and live like Jesus. Asheo. That's right, my love. That's right. Oh, absolutely. Anyone who knows the path has been on it too. I absolutely believe he's going to come back. Now, what an amazing question. We're going to do a show on this too, y'all. Do I think he's coming back to the earth actually? Absolutely. Absolutely. It has been ordained. But I'm going to tell you something. The sad part is we live in such a cynical society who don't believe in anything. And this could be why they made the advent of AI so we don't believe what we see anymore. Because imagine if the nativity story existed now. Imagine if a young girl named Shaniqua was pregnant, started getting hips and butt. And y'all be like, y'all see Shaniqua over there? She getting thick, yeah. Oh, I've been watching her. I think she's pregnant. She be around there with that boy Joseph. They up there being fresh. She being one of them fast little girls. Shaniqua Mary. I'ma tell your mama, girl. Imagine if a young lady named Shaniqua Mary said, I ain't do nothing, but she getting thick. Them hips are spreading. That pelvic is widening. The stomach is getting round. So I didn't do nothing. I was in my room, laying in the bed, and this knowing came upon me, and this voice spoke to me and told me that I will bear a child, and I have to call it Jesus, Yeshua. I didn't do nothing. I mean, I be with Joseph, but we be sitting on the porch reading books and stuff and talking about homework. I ain't do nothing. Do you know how ridiculed she be? Do you know how ridiculed she be? Who's gonna believe that story? Who gonna believe that story? That's why we gotta know God. So when he comes, not only will we know him, he will know us. Because baby, we have a God who is a loving God, but also a God of wrath. And he say, you better know me when you don't need me in your time, because in my time, because in your time I will say, turn away from me, I do not know you. So I absolutely unequivocally believe he will come back, and we need to know. We need to spread the word. We need to increase our awareness of the Lord, because imagine Shaniqua Mary saying, I ain't do nothing. Who would believe her? Who would believe her? Think about it. I think I'm going to create a web series. Matter of fact, I'm going to call her Marisha. Give it a little urban twist to it. Marisha. I'm going to write a play. Marisha and Joseph. They chilling on the porch. He be on her porch every day. And he be like, how you doing, miss? The two Miss Marys across the street. And they be say, y'all see that boy always around there? He always around that gate with that girl. You know them hips is getting wide. Think about it. Think of how they would scandalize this poor child right now. Think of how they would scandalize this girl right now in this world. If she had brothers, they'd be ready to beat Joseph down. Mm-hmm. Desert Druzy said, I can't believe others are feeling this weird shift in food and eating. I'm having that feeling to Earl unless it's fruit or soup. Listen, baby, I can't eat nothing. Listen, when I tell you, Keisha said we need to know his voice. I want him to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Not part from me, I know you not. Absolutely. Because, baby, our God is a real God. He that keep it real, sister, Shaniqua down the block, keep it real, baby. Gonna say like a T.I. is, I said what I said. Depart from me, I do not know you. People gonna feel hurt if that's what they hear. They're gonna feel hurt if that's what they hear. And they're gonna be like, why you treat me like that, God? I thought you love everybody. He was very clear and unapologetic. Very clear. All you got to do is read that book. All you got to do is read that book. Oh, Tracy. Tracy said, Natanya, my granddaughter is 6, and she said she likes your glasses and your nails and picture. Well, honey, you ain't seen nothing yet. Glasses is what I do. I have a million pairs of glasses. Oh, honey, look at Foxy Cleopatra. And my daughter is the show producer. We call her the Trusty Dusty show producer. Our moderator is the one and only Locked Hair Don't Care. She is the dopest mod, and I am the dopest nerd. Our family is called the Nerd Herd, and we is a whole vibe. Let me see, cutie. Oh, somebody got their vacation hair popping. You look cute, Zana. And my daughter is a resident genius around here, and we love her so much. Yeah, absolutely. You didn't know that either, Willie Gross? I see you saying, wow. Wow, what? You didn't know? Yeah. I try not to mess with restaurant food a lot either because you can't control what's going on behind the closed doors. And here's what I've come to learn. People are lazy. People are lazy. Everybody wants a job, but nobody wants to work. And listen, I get it. I get it. Work is not always cracked up to me, okay? But somebody got to do it. There are certain things that have to be done. And for society to continue to operate and function, some things just have to be done. And work is one of those things. People like to go work in a restaurant and do the bare minimum. You know those low-hanging fruit people. You work with some of them in the past. They ain't doing nothing. They supposed to wash the dishes. They ain't washing them. You get a cup back. It got DNA on it. You like, oh, Viva Glam. I know this color from Chanel. This is Chanel lipstick. Yeah, I'm not interested in it though. That's not my color. They ain't washing the cups good. They just half button it, as our parents used to say. Listen, everybody's not going to do what they're supposed to do, but the things that you can control those things. Control those things. Like our mothers used to tell us back in the days. You don't need no McDonald's. We got McDonald's at home. You know them at-home burgers was better anyway. And you can't even trust, baby. I would not feed my enemy a McDonald's burger. Okay? Nirvana won a science fair before because we did how long does it take for a McDonald's burger to break down? We went and bought some McDonald's stuff. We had that stuff for months when they gave the assignment. We talked about biogases and all that stuff. She won the science fair from McDonald's. It was old as I don't know what, and that thing looked completely intact. You remember that, Nirvana? What grade was that? 3rd or 4th grade. Okay? You know that McDonald's at home is better than the McDonald's in the street. You know it. And guess what? The shake machine ain't broken. You can literally get a shake or some ice cream because mama got some ice cream in the fridge. You know you can't get no ice cream from no McDonald's. Baby, that at-home stuff is way better. Like, let's call it what it is. Let's really call it what it is. Oh, thank you. That's my baby. She's my youngest child. So I have two adult sons. And I mean, she's about to be an adult herself, but I have grown sons, like 36 and 33, and then Nirvana's 17. So, like I was telling them, I've been mothering for 36 years straight. And now I'm going to be an empty nester. And these fingers is ashy. That's another thing. Get used to my dry skin. My hands are dry. These fingers going to be ashy on a number of shows. Every now and then, look, I just have these shea butter. I got the shea butter right here. It's sitting right beside me, and I ain't putting none on. These fingers be ashy. Get used to it. I ain't going to be offended by them or nothing, Lord. They just ashy. That's what it is. And that's just what it is. My skin dry. So, let's see. Yes, honey, a mama burger was the best. Y'all know that mama burger is good. You know it. Oh, listen, you know we couldn't step outside that door before. First of all, chores had to be done. Chores had to be done. We could not step out before a certain time, and you better be back before the street light. Uh-oh, Desert Druzy said, okay, now did you see episode 3 of Paradise? Listen, honey, I am complete Paradise. I watched the entire Paradise. Cheese fries are made from chemicals, Dynasty. Yes, because they can't get real cheese up in Paradise because they didn't acquire enough cheese prior to the dystopian, whatchamacallit. And so the cheese fries are artificial. Absolutely. But baby, I seen the whole Paradise. That is, so we get homework on this channel. And there's a lot of homework. I always tell people, one of my favorite lines is cite your source. You could talk about anything you want here. You can say whatever you want, but you must be able to cite that source. And I will always say, I spit a lot of facts because I know a lot of stuff. I just retain a lot of information, but you best believe anything that I tell you, I could say, look it up and put it in chat. And before I'm even finished, there's a link in the chat for it. And trust me, you can verify what I'm saying. So at the end of this, we in the 3 hours and 27 minutes. Okay, guys, we're going to start to wind it down because we've been on here long. But replay gang, hit that replay gang. If you came in anytime after the live started, just always go back on the replay gang and just watch it. Throw it on the TV, put your feet up and watch it, baby. Listen, you're going to learn a lot. Have a notebook by your side because when I say I be dropping gems, and it's God. I'm not going to take God out of it. This is God. I am simply a vessel. He is using me as a vessel. And the only way for you to know that God is, well, not the only way, but one of the primary ways for you to know what a prophetic gift is because God must give information to one of his vessels to pass to you, and then you are able to vet it. I am simply a disciple doing his goodness. And this is not like, oh, I'm a prophet, call me a prophet. No, you ain't got to do none of that. I'm Natanya, the dopest nerd. You can call me the dopest nerd. You can call me Natanya. Some people call me Eb. This is just about being about my father's business. And you have to be able to vet what I say in order to see it. Listen, I'm just about my father's business. That's who I am. My name, the name Natanya actually means, hey, cite your sources. Don't take my word for it. Throw it in the chat. Natanya means gift of God. My mama don't even know where she got the name. But 54, almost 55 years ago, she saw fit to name her daughter Natanya, gift of God. So consider yourself the gift of God. Oh, thank you. We love it. Listen, Tracy, we love you too. You family. Put your feet up. That's how you take your shoes off at the door. Put your feet up. Get some fuzzy socks out the basket. We got a basket. You seen that basket at the door when you came in? Fuzzy socks. Snatch a pair. Put them on. They freshly washed every time you come back. Just grab yourself another pair. The movie The Final Conflict. Let's see. That sounds good. The Final Conflict. Movie The Final Conflict. Damien Thorne talked to the legion that spread the evil, and the food was the main topic. And them legions, I'm sure they cast the legions into the pigs, right? Because that's what the Bible says. The legions and the demons were cast into the pigs because, that's why we must not eat pork, because pigs don't have sweat glands. And so they can't excrete toxins from their body. Therefore, all of the toxins stay in them. And that is why you should not eat swine, AKA no pork on my fork. No pork on my fork. And yes, we have, yeah, you can watch Paradise on Hulu. That is must-see TV around these parts. You got to watch Paradise. It's just, see, Natanya, look at my girl Lot. Put some respect on this moderator, baby. You ain't getting moderation like this all over the internet. Okay? Natanya is a feminine name of Hebrew origin meaning gift of God. It is derived from the word Nathan, which signifies the act of giving and suggests that the bearer is a blessing or a precious gift. Asheo. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. And I'm eternally thankful. I'm eternally thankful. But look how Johnny on the spot. Where have you seen this measure? What measure of woman is this? What level of content, of moderation have you seen around these YouTube streets like this? Bar none. Masterclass. I don't know the last time I've eaten out, and I can say that I can't say that I miss it. Yeah. Listen, I had my granddaughter this past weekend, and her and Nirvana went out to eat breakfast. Baby, I had what was that omelet I had, Nirvana? Poblano. A poblano omelet. Normally, I like the poblano. It has a lot of onions, vegetables, all this stuff. I be tearing that poblano up. I wasn't even 1/3 of the way through my poblano. I was cutting, talking to my granddaughter Nirvana, laughing, talking, put that in my mouth. Cheese limit hit. I was like, could not eat another bite. Couldn't eat another bite. I pulled a couple of peppers and onions off. I couldn't eat another bite. I am juicing. I can't eat. When I smell things, stink. I'm just living off of juice. I take ginger shots, turmeric shots. I drink a lot of kale and celery and lemon, and I don't know what it is. It's Natania, Tracy. The extra I in between the A and the N, take that one out. The first I, take that out. So it's Natania. That's a good thing. You treated yourself to a few months of Hulu. Oh, yes, Willie Gross. He said, I'm with you about my father's business. Appreciate you. I appreciate you too, brother. Thank you so much. And I get your emails. I just want you to know that. Everybody, when you send me emails, your girl got 50 million things on her plate. Okay, Dana, we see you in a little while. We about to be out of here too. Thank you. Listen, I tell you, whenever you see me do, wait, they don't love you like I love you. And I can't do the dance for anything when I stand up. Trust me. My daughter is like, Mommy, it is so simple. It's just a hip dip kind of, I can't do it. Stiff hip. I don't know what it is. It don't look right. It don't look like everybody else's. To God be the glory. Thank you, Natanya. Your mom heard the voice of God and she obeyed. Asheo. Now that I will say, because I be asking, like, where'd you get this name from? She's like, girl, I don't know. She could tell you where she got all of my sisters' names, but not mine. She said it was a gift from God. Absolutely. All right, guys, you know what time it is. I got to go find a juice, go juice some beets or something to drink. I love y'all with my heart and soul. You know I do. My whole heart and soul. I absolutely love you guys. I love what we have here. I love this thing we have, our family, this nerd herd family. I love you all. And it means so much to me that you take the time to spend time with me. And I told y'all stuck with me, honey. Nirvana almost out of here, child. She be counting down the days. She be like, after spring break and this and that, I got about 20-something days of school left. I'm done. I'm senioritis is, boy, on that back. But So y'all stuck with me, honey. Y'all stuck with me. I know sometimes and here's the thing about me. I'm such a different content creator. Yeah, I see all of y'all emails. Absolutely. I don't be ignoring them. Don't take my silence for, listen, I am the definition of wait on God. Once people get to learn that about me and understand that about me, they understand me better. God, I'm not your typical content creator. There's some typical content creators like breaking news. 15 times a day they posted. Listen, I could be here having a jolly good time with y'all and God say, peace be still. You won't see me for 3 weeks. Ask them. Not a thing. Not a listen, K-League put an APB out on me the other day. Said, Torah did 3 weeks. But my son was getting married. I didn't tell the audience, but my son was getting married and I was just finishing last minute stuff and taking care of things so we could get this wedding. And it was an amazing wedding. I must show pictures again. Fantastic, baby, talk of the town wedding. I'm talking about artist performance and everything. Talk of the town at a country club. Chef's kiss. Magnifique. And it's, from what I hear and understand, it's all over social media, darling. But yes, that was my son and my daughter-in-law's wedding. I have the best daughter-in-law in the whole wide world. And I said what I said, period, point blank. That's my girl. And my son and my daughter-in-law gave me the most amazing grandma baby. I call her grandma baby. She calls me grandma baby. That's our name for each other. And I love that girl. And I know they're already sick of me because I'm going to be on her back. On her back. She got her own room here. She came over this weekend. We hung out. We had so much fun. And let me tell you what my grandma baby made me watch the Kendrick Lamar halftime show a bunch of times. Grandma, are you really about to do it? And she knows word for word. She knows the dances. She is super talented. She's a little me. When I tell you, for God to have blessed me to live the life I've lived, endure what I've endured, and come through it like a phoenix from the ashes, and be of sound mind and body still. Like, I got shot in my face. Not only did I get shot in my face, I still have 9 bullet fragments in my face and head. Still. 9 bullet fragments in my face and head. I had a laundry list of illnesses. Those who know. Seizure disorder, swelling of the brain, PTSD, social anxiety disorder, this, that, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. Every problem that you can have. Yes, I had them all. And yet and still, I have a traumatic brain injury because the bullet was a hollow point bullet. It shattered, broke my nose, cheekbone, all kinds of stuff. The biggest portion of bullet that's still in here is right here by my optic nerve. They couldn't remove them because where they were placed was so dangerous that had they 1 millisecond of an inch to the right or left, I could have lost my eye, lost my optic nerve. So they allowed the body to absorb them. They took out one that I was aspirating, the biggest portion that I was aspirating into my lungs, but one went how it went through, it went up and scarred my brain. And so I have a traumatic brain injury and a seizure disorder and a host of other things. But God, baby. I hear other content creators, she always talking about God over there. I don't trust nobody always talking about God like that. Because you ain't been to, wait, they don't love you like I love you. Wait. I'm sorry, God. I cannot stop laughing. I don't know why that is so funny to me. It tickles me pink. But God, to God be the glory, baby. I am a living miracle. Can't nobody tell me about Yeshua and his daddy and the God of now. Can't nobody tell me about the Most High. Can't nobody tell me about Yeshua. Nobody tell me about the Holy Spirit. You know why some of y'all prayers ain't getting answered? The Holy Spirit is the God of now. Some of y'all ain't praying to the Holy Spirit. You better ask the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit. But It's each one teach one. It's some stuff that we don't know, and you have to be around people that know, and we share information. And baby, oh, thank you, God's daughter. That what a sweet. Being stuck with you sounds perfect. Thank you for showing up. We appreciate your presence and insights. Thank you, Locked, the dopest mod. Love you, Grandma Baby. Yay! Absolutely. And you see these right here? Let me show you. Oh, Lock said, good night. Let me show you these two. You'll start to learn. I'm just giving you a real quick crash course. When you go deep dive, you see what Shannon put these carrots, they symbolize something. And the blue butterfly symbolizes Locked, and the carrot symbolizes me because the night I got shot, when I finally got out of the club section and into the kitchen of the adjoining hotel, and everybody was running around, and there was like 9 million bloody footprints in my blood, and I thought I was leaving, and the only thing that was stable was 5 boxes of carrots stacked, and everybody was going back and forth, moving to and fro, and too much was going on. And I went and held on to those carrots. So they're very symbolic in my story. And when people want to send love, sometimes they just throw a bunch of carrots in the chat. And that's what that's about. So, guys, you know what I always say? Until we meet again, God willing, and the creek don't rise. I love y'all. Until we see each other again. I'll put my I love y'all before I sign off, because the other day didn't want to let me do it after I signed off. I love y'all. Until we meet again. And God bless y'all all.